Uno. It's March Madness, it's Women's HERstory Month, and it's WrestleMania season.
Yep.
So let's go! Welcome everyone to an all-new edition of the show with the trifecta suplexes, but no flex at all. Leave all that capping at home. Not me and Sour Diesel, though. We got our caps on. That's our thinking caps. That is, it's a new edition of the Three Amigos Show podcast.
Yeah, man.
Without any further ado, let's introduce you to the three superplexes, aka our esteemed hosts of the Three Amigos Show podcast. First of all, as always, there's no shook hands in Brooklyn. Never, ever. If you don't know me, I'm just trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. If it doesn't make dollars, it don't make sense. The bottom line is always the dollar sign, all right? I'm the intellectual savior to the masses, the underdog, also known as the unchosen one. The brilliant, bright, and always willing to fight, Brandon Thor.
Yes, indeedy. At least somebody got these sound effects working.
And as for our second co-host, he is the second suplex, hailing originally from the lava's borough, Flatbush, Brooklyn.
Yes,
he was once
indeedy.
all in. He still might be double or nothing. Are you ready for that revolution?
Whoop, whoop.
Thank you,
Whoop.
Sour
Sorry.
Diesel. You're on point. Mr. Fighting is something you do, where wrestling is something you live, and we live this. He is the Panamanian God. He is the Mesha King.
Yes, indeedy. Feed the needy.
And last, and certainly not least, hailing from the concrete jungle, Brooklyn, New York, standing at 6'4", he is lyrical. Clearly, he sings too. Miracle, spiritual, criminal, minimal, bare minimum, aluminum bars. He is the 10-time New York State Park Wrestling Champion, Big Daddy Cool, Sour Diesel.
Yeah, it's me. It's me. D-D-Zo.
We might have a Park State champion who wrestles in the park who might challenge you for that title, but we'll talk more about that in the production.
Bring them on. Bring them on.
He's
I am not afraid of a challenge. It is always an open challenge when you see me in these streets, okay? Might big boot ya.
I like
Might
that.
choke slam ya.
Whoa. His
The
name
main
is-
event. The main show is going to be at Central Booking, so you know that's always a sold out crowd.
That's what we call hell in a jail.
In a real cell, for real.
Exactly.
First things first, I would like to take the time out to thank all of the viewers, the listeners, for all that like, subscribe, share, give your feedback to the Three Amigos Show. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us.
We appreciate that.
We definitely
Absolutely.
appreciate you. So give you a round of applause for those niggas.
Yes. Yes.
Anywho, look
Viewers.
up in the sky. There's a bird. There's a plane. It's Sour Diesel smoking buds on the train. He don't do that though. How high? Here comes the smoking section. Sour Diesel.
Do you want to smoke with me? Cause you know this smoke is free. Yeah. Okay. What's going on, people? What's going on? Man, I got a lot of things to talk about in this smoking session. You heard me. So let's get right to it. There ain't nothing to it but to do it. So I wanna humbly apologize. Last week, made some comments about Tony Khan and his booking. Somewhere they out there listening to me because they got it on point this Wednesday that just passed. So I want to get right into it. The 4 pillars of AEW. That is Brian. That is MJF. That is Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and your boy, Jungle Boy.
What about
right?
Darby Allin?
Jack Perry.
Jack Perry. Sorry, Jack Perry. I mentioned Darby Allin.
Okay.
I mentioned Darby Allin. So last week I was questioning can they make stars? And I wasn't trying to take a stab at them, even though if I stab them, they will bleed out. But it was just, I just wanted to know, do they have homegrown stars? Now, I recently stated that, like, I try to compare them to the old days of WWE when they had all these mega stars at the same time. So I was just questioning to see if AEW has that as well, and apparently they do. So I want to know your take, guys, about these four pillars of AEW, because it's looking like it might be they might be booking a fatal four way, or maybe we might see a three man triple threat to see who will face MJF at whatever pay per view they have coming next. I know it won't be at the Forbidden Door, because the Forbidden Door is between NJPW and AEW. So what do you guys think? Let's go. Let's talk about it.
Okay. As you saw in my comments, on our chat group, I don't know where this was going. It was really good. I just don't know where it was going. And I don't understand why they wanted MJF to look weak in it. It was a little confusing to me because, he didn't have like good responses back to everybody. Everybody was burying him in their promos, and then Sammy Guevara, he had to reel it back in that he's actually a heel. Okay, so he had to, because he gave his "get one for the Gipper" speech, and then said, then had to diss the audience to make everybody realize, guys, don't forget, I am actually a heel here. So I didn't understand what happened with that, and then I did like when he went into the cake. I thought that was pretty funny.
He missed it. He messed up on the cake, because the cake should have been all in his face. He was trying to grab onto the cake. He did as much as possible as he can, but kudos to him. He did.
I thought it was pretty decent on that. But the promo, it was good, but I just didn't know where to go from there. Brandon, thought.
First, I would like to address the pillars of AEW, right? So, if these are the pillars of AEW, then I think that they're standing on sinking sand.
I'm sorry, say that again. I didn't hear that.
They're standing on sinking sand.
Sinking sand. Why you say that?
I'm not a fan of any of the pillars of AEW besides MJF. Sammy Guevara, like I've said on the show previously, is a little bit too accident prone. Maybe if he can clean up his act a little bit with what he does in the ring, maybe he can be a pillar. Jack Perry has the most potential, especially very recently, showing that he has an edge and showing that he has this grit to him. He's the one who hit MJF first, right, after the confrontation to get it all started. So I can see something with Jack Perry, especially if he loses the whole Jungle Boy thing. That's a little wacky to me. But Darby Allin, you know how I feel about him. He's, Jeff Hardy on cocaine, and I don't think any different from that.
That's gotta be cocaine.
I do disagree a little bit with you said, Matt, with that they all buried him. I think what MJF did and what people think that he won't do is give these pillars. Because then they have a shirt with them, like with all of the pillars of AEW on it at one time. They were selling it. I think what he was doing with his job as the heel was to continue to show that they're ruining his rebar mitzvah. And I think MJF did the business. And that was my opinion on that.
I don't think it was like too much of a bury, but they was bringing some real life situations at each other. All of them. Like when MJF mentioned to Sammy that he's getting in backstage fights, you know what I mean, and Jack Perry coming at you know what? Cool. Thank you, Jack Perry, because you read my mind. The way you feel about MJF, I feel the same way. It's just the same old shit every week. It's the same thing. And to me, I'm starting to feel like I think MJF is like he must be like the Brock Lesnar of AEW. He barely wrestles. He's never really wrestling on every Wednesday. And just like how Jack Perry mentioned, he never wrestled on an AEW Dark or a AEW Elevator, whatever, or Rampage. He never did none of those things. And I want to why is that? And I mean, he is a big draw for the company. Don't get me wrong, but it's like shit, even Cena did something. You know what I mean? Like it's seeming like he's like a little bit selfish. If
I don't
you,
know if I've ever seen Cena on main event.
I mean, yeah, we did.
Cena was on Velocity back in the day.
Okay, Cena did them things. You know what I'm
By the
saying?
way, I'm
But
looking at this picture of Jade Cargill,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, okay.
That's a star. You see them legs? Look at that black beauty.
Jade Cargill.
If only she could put that in the ring. But move on.
Mm.
Oh, Jade, I love you.
You was a damn turncoat, Brandon thought. Hold
on.
You was a Jade Cargill person.
I'm still him, but
Jade Cargill, if you're listening, and I know you're married, I know you're a married woman, but girl, I love you. I love you. You are giving. Okay?
Yeah,
she's giving what needs to be given.
What happened? Why
No.
she could only put that in the ring?
No, I'm a Jade Cargill guy. I love the look. I love the attitude. I love the run she's having with the championship.
Her ring ability isn't there yet.
Yes,
I mean,
the ring. It has to.
I mean, come on. AEW only been out for 5 years, and she only been there for 4 of them. Like,
Here
come
we
on.
go.
He's right. He's one right. 2, she doesn't have any real competitors to go in there to grow with.
So are you calling Jade Cargill the Bill Goldberg of AEW?
No, I'm not calling her that at all. I wouldn't call Jade Bill anything. I would call Jade Cargill the first Jade Cargill.
Oh wow! Jade Cargill.
Let me jump in. Can I jump in on this for a second? First of all, I find this a little different that you guys are sitting there talking about they don't have anybody for her to go against, because there's more than enough women in the company.
And we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that later on in my session.
If anything, you could call Jade Cargill the Floyd Mayweather of AEW. I mean, let's call a spade a spade.
Oh, okay, no real competition. You're right. So if you call it the Floyd Mayweather, it's no real competition. You are absolutely right. Thank you. Put your own big foot in your big mouth.
And that's what I initially started by saying was that there's not enough viable contenders for her to really. I mean, we now see, the debut who came. He's going to get into that, and she did the same similar move, and I still don't think she can fuck with Jade Cargill, but we'll see.
I think you know what. At the end of the day, I don't want to drag on, but I just feel that Jade Cargill is they're picking and choosing specific people to feed to her, as opposed to letting her. First of all, I don't know why she's not on Dynamite. That I don't understand.
Jade Cargill?
Why she doesn't come out on Dynamite? Because at the end of the day, if you want
them
to sell,
She was just on Dynamite.
Not often. Not often. I'm saying, why don't she? If you want to sell Rampage, the show, more, right? Because she's the star of Rampage. So if you want to sell the show more, why don't you bring her out more on Dynamite to showcase more stuff that happens on Rampage?
And here's the thing. They're so backwards, right? They're so backwards. Because Dynamite comes on TBS, right? So we'll see the TNT Championship on TBS. But we'll see Jade Cargill, who's the TBS champion, on Rampage that is on TNT. So it's like, who's booking this?
It doesn't make sense.
That's
why I said she needs the television time on the main show, because that's the only way you'll do the lead up to the secondary show. It just makes sense.
But in the interest of fairness, I feel like that's what they actually do. Even if
in the interest of fairness,
I wasn't done.
Oh, they go. Okay, well, excuse me. Oh, you wasn't done, but I could have sworn this is my session.
Rule number 1 in broadcast journalism: you wait for the person to finish so you can make your
rule number one.
Make sure that you are responding to a cohesive analysis.
Okay, rule number one: go fuck yourself.
Okay.
I don't know if that's rule number 1.
I don't think it is at all.
Well, hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me go down to my list of things.
He has a list and he makes.
Hold on.
But my point I was making is that Jade Cargill is always featured on Dynamite, whether it's
Yeah,
actually wrestling,
so he
actually a
made the list.
backstage segment. That's good. I'm on a lot of lists. VIP list, that is. Are you?
Sorry, go ahead, man.
Moving right along, Jade Cargill is always featured either on Dynamite or Rampage. I don't see her enough to me if you actually on Rampage.
But that's I'm saying I don't see her enough at all, Brandon Thought. That's all I was saying. I don't see
We
Jade
haven't seen her in
Cargill,
weeks.
who is a very strong, prominent black wrestler, okay, black female wrestler, needs to be showcased because she's a champion. At
She
the end of the
wasn't.
day,
She wasn't even at the
she's a
pay per view.
champion. No, she
Wasn't even
wasn't.
on the pay per view. Maybe I don't know. Maybe
When is the damn title defended? Somebody help me.
maybe she had other maybe she had other dealings to deal with. Who knows? She probably was filming, or
I don't know, or maybe chasing Little Bow Wow somewhere behind a reward show. But the fact is that it needs to be that she's showcased a lot more. I'm sorry, Diesel. What's the next one? Because we interrupted.
Oh yeah, because I would like to have the viewers out there to know that Jade Cargill was not a part of this discussion. She was not a part of this session. So somebody just wanted to just bring her up in it, and it's really not working for me. Thank you.
Go ahead, brother.
Okay, next on the list, my good guy Almighty, Butch, is he shall be heading back to his old habits, and by old habits I mean he will be going back to his name, Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight, and I think it's time for that, and maybe it'll be happening sooner than expected. I'm thinking after WrestleMania. What do you guys think? What do you guys get a feel of this? Because I believe he'll be like the last one, or he'll probably be like the last one of many to go back to an old gimmick and back to his name change. What you guys think?
You know what? I could care less. I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. I can.
Whoa.
I'm just being honest. I'm entitled to be honest, right? I could care
Okay,
less.
you know what? You're right. Be honest. Let's be TBH. That's it? You just care less? They don't have nothing else to say?
Good, because that leaves room for me to talk. Great. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Brando.
Thank you for your analysis. I think that this is wonderful, okay?
Shut up, Brandon.
We have seen, since Papa H have been back, him, the characters and the people that he has developed in NXT, we're now getting to see them on the main stage in the light in which they were supposed to be. We hated Nikki ASA. When Papa H got back in charge, she came back to being crazy old Nikki Cross. You understand what I'm saying? And now we're seeing this with Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne is a beast. He is a former champion in NXT. He's a former NXT UK champion. He has done a lot, had a lot of accolades, and I can't wait for the main roster to see Pete Dunne and his focusing. I bet you he's gonna run through Madcap Moore. But go ahead.
Stop.
And to me, Pete Dunne is a one hell of a talent. He's a workhorse, and he's just like one of many of those guys that's in the company that, hey, you give me something, it might be a change, but you give me something, I'm gonna make it work. And he's few of many. Like we see that all the time with Baron Corbin, right? Who else is on that list? Damn, there's so many of them, of these guys that
you can't even name.
You give them a yeah. I mean, Baron Corbin is one of the Miz. Like, come on, stop it. It's just like so many of them.
Please,
come on,
the Miz.
The Miz, Baron Corbin. You give them something, and they're gonna make it work. Butch is one of those guys, and I can see Butch being there for quite some time, and he's gonna get back. He's gonna get back on his bruiserweight shit. He's gonna be breaking ligaments, all right, and he's gonna be breaking ligaments and bringing home the chips. And I'm talking about championships.
Well, I just want to say one thing. You just named
championships.
Two filler wrestlers, The Miz and Baron Corbin. They're just filler. They're just filler. You know what I'm saying? Like,
whoa.
You know, they're just filler.
I'm not gonna let you disrespect Baron Corbin. The lone wolf Baron Corbin. We're not doing that.
Idol, Dolph Ziggler, all filler. They're just filler wrestlers. They just need to fill out the
God Almighty.
The show is 3 hours, and you need You need to put something in there, in the middle of the show, and that's what these wrestlers provide for talent.
That's gotta be cocaine. I just can't believe this. I can't believe this blasphemous. But anyway,
I'm just talking real facts. Ladies and gentlemen,
yeah, because you know what? Because Madcap Moss isn't one, right? He's not a filler.
You damn right, he's a filler. You damn right, he's a filler. Okay. Let me tell you something.
I thought you were saying
70% of the WWE roster is fillers. Okay, there's a certain upper echelon of wrestlers.
Are we talking about AEW or WWE?
No, I'm talking about WWE too. Because guess what? Not everybody's a star in WWE. You know what I mean? They're not. So at the end of the day,
they are superstars. You're right.
You have a very specific group of people that lead the product, but we need mid card and undercard. So at the end of the day, that's what these people serve. That's what they provide.
I don't even think Madcap Moss is even a mid carder. Okay?
Don't hold out on Madcap Moss. Okay,
he's not.
Hold out on Madcap
Moss. He's
trash. When his character fully develops, mark my words. Whatever today's date is, because we can't say the dates on the show. Whatever today's date is, all right. I guarantee you, when he gets that final character, everybody's gonna shut up and appreciate the goodness of what is Madcap.
How old is Madcap?
Fix your face, Brandon. Thought.
Okay? How old is Madcap? Madcap is like what, like 30, like 34, I believe, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over for him. Okay.
What are you talking about? What are you
over
talking
for
about?
him?
DDP didn't become the champion until 40.
That's DDP. DDP is fucking great. Okay,
DDP was not always great. Let's stop right there. Stop right there.
DDP had one of the. First of all, DDP had one of the greatest
until 1997.
One of DDP best. To me, his best feuds was when he was feuding with Raven. That was a good feud for me. Okay,
1993.
He is the first man. He's the first man to hit the cutter out of nowhere. Diamond cutter out of nowhere.
Stay with me now, Diesel. He was in the company since 1989, and he didn't get hot till 1997. And let me tell you something. If it wasn't for the feud with Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone, no one would give a rat's ass about DDP.
That's not true. That's not true.
Tell the story right.
DDP was one of the guys. DDP was one of the guys. He said, "Hey, you know what? Give me the ball. I'm gonna run with it. I'm gonna do what I need to do." He did that. Then he got that goddamn championship, and he was showing his ass. Like, come on.
What he taught Karl Malone how to do the diamond cutter. That's it. When Goldberg,
the diamond cutter out of nowhere. Stop it.
When Goldberg went against Hogan, right? When Goldberg went against Hogan, July 1998. Did he have the ball then when he came down just to give a DDP to Scott Hall? Not DDP.
But that was when him and Scott. That was when him and Scott Hall was feuding, because you remember he was the manager. He was.
He was not feuding with Scott Hall then. He was feuding with Scott Hall in '99.
Well, that was the start of their feud. Okay.
2 years. Okay.
Listen.
Yeah, it's called long-term booking.
Who was doing that? Eric Bischoff? Who's long-term?
Yeah, he was.
When Eric Bischoff, his theory was, when in doubt, go to the NWO.
He wasn't long-term booking. How long it took Sting to get back in? Like, that's long-term booking. It took that man 2 years.
What are you talking about? Sting was lit in '97.
But I'm talking about when Sting became the Crow Sting. Come on.
That was '97 when he was coming down from the ceiling. That was '97. That was because
but the long-term booking was when he finally beat Hogan for the belt.
But remember, he still was having bouts with them the whole time. It wasn't no long. It was leading up to it.
It was long-term booking to him to become the champion. Doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. And it was for him to finally get his one-on-one with Hulk Hogan. I mean Hollywood Hogan. Okay. All right. Come on, man. Don't discredit me because I was there.
I discredit you.
I was disagree. There. I was there, you son of a bitch.
I just want to move on. I disagree with you, but I do want to move on.
Okay, Maya. I'll be moving on too. Okay. So the next, hold
I'm
on,
just here for the comments.
okay. So the next one, we're talking about after WrestleMania cleanups and call-ups. Because for you people who don't know, and for some of you do, well, for some of you don't know, because the people who do know what the hell I'm talking about, and the people who don't know, they don't know what I'm talking about. So let me let you in on what I'm talking about. So every WrestleMania, right, we usually have these cutbacks, right, of said talents. So this will be the first year. This is Triple H year, and we think, and it's been rumored like on social media and like Facebook world and all that there will be some expected cutbacks on talent, and I want to know what you guys think between the cutbacks, the cleanups, and call ups. What do you guys think?
You should take this one because I'm still catching my breath from the last discussion.
Oh, okay. Well,
You still a little bit mad about that?
Because your dad lied. Okay, you know that didn't happen. None of the stuff that you said happened.
It happened. It happened in my eyes. Look at my eyes, everybody. It happened. There's no lies in these eyes.
well,
Only
to diamond cut into the conversation. In terms of under Triple H tutelage and knowledge and runnage of WWE, what we might see, I think people who will be released is people that we don't really see, who don't really have a storyline, who doesn't have anything brewing. Because as Sour Diesel mentioned, I think maybe a few weeks ago, about everything with Papa H being long-term booking, right? So if someone is not engulfed in the story or in developing, they might be the ones who are on the chopping block. Do I have a name right now? No. I can tell you one.
You do.
Um,
You do.
Dolph Ziggler.
Whoa. Listen. We're not going to do here. We're not going to play with those type of names, okay?
He can definitely get rid of the non-Hollywood blondes, Eminem, the models. He can get rid of them.
Yeah. But I think
they can
have
go.
something for them.
They have something going, but he can get rid of them.
They don't even wrestle. They remind me of the new version of damn, what's these the fashion
Fandango and
Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze, yeah.
Not less. This is build up for them to come back and to be in a feud with them. Then I'd be interested in that. Then after that,
No, Fandango's in Impact, so I don't see that happening.
But Impact is basically like a holding cell for WWE stars anyway. So like it really matters. But who else? Oh, you did say Xia Li. Unfortunately for her, she should have never got rid of NXT gimmick. They tried to bring it back. It was too Chung-Li. We've seen it already. I'm sorry, Xia Li. I know you guys like her, but especially after SmackDown, we can get rid of accident-prone Tegan Knox. She can go.
Who? Tegan Knox.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
She can go.
Yeah. Hold on. I would like to let the viewers know that these are not the expected names, but these are just our vision for the release. So I just want to make that clear.
Unpopular opinion. I know I always root for the melanated wrestlers, but also, what's the group called?
Hit Row.
Hit Row. Sorry, guys. We wish you the best in all that you do.
That was a waste of a comeback.
And the future endeavors. That's it. Call ups. I do see my boy Grayson Waller being called up, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
I see. I want to say Carmelo Hayes, but I think that they're going to put the strap on him. So then that other guy, Rick Steiner's son, Braun Breaker. I don't know how they're going to have both two Brauns on the main roster. We'll see what they'll do with that.
That's Braun and that's Braun. Two different
right. Oh, okay. It looks the same to me. The O and the U looks the same to me. The moveset looks the same. The charisma looks the same. It looks the same to me. But he'll probably be called up. What is the tag team? Damn, I don't have their name on deck. I really like them on NXT. They're like kind of not chunky, but They have.
Oh, you talking about the Creed brothers?
Yes, the Creed brothers. I would like
Mm-hmm.
to see them called up. I want to see them in a program with the Viking Raiders.
Okay. Well, the Viking Raiders going to need something in a second. So.
Nah, the Viking Raiders is doing good with their game. I like it.
Yeah, but the feud is getting kind of stale. So
they do need a feud, and they need a belt. They need some belts on them. They need some belts.
All right. B, you finished?
I'm done. Yes.
All right. Okay, so if I'm just jump in this, this is off the top of my head of people that need to be released. The Miz, let me see, Dolph Ziggler, Tiger Ali Singh.
He means he's somehow Muhammad. He's talking about
Mustafa Ali.
Mustafa Ali.
As much as I'm going to seem like a hypocrite when I say this one, because I always root for her, but I kind of have to lean and agree with Brandon Thought. Liv Morgan has to be on the list too.
I didn't put her on the list.
I know I'm green in the past. You don't like her and stuff like that. So I have to. Liv has to go to AEW. I want her to go to AEW.
What?
I want Liv. I need Liv to help build up that roster. I need her to help build up that roster.
Let me hold on. I don't mean to cut you off at all. However, I don't like Liv Morgan, but I do not think that Liv Morgan should be released, and I don't think that Liv Morgan should go to AEW. Okay?
Well, that's fair.
I think that Liv Morgan should work a little bit hard and prove to us naysayers that she is worthy of.
She needs to be more serious.
You're saying the same thing.
No, he's not saying for her to be released. You want her to be released.
No. He's saying she got to work harder. Here's what I meant. I don't think Liv Morgan is trash. I don't think she's trash. I think Liv Morgan is more suitable right now in AEW because I feel like, one, they need to expand their talent roster, okay, and they need actual female wrestlers that have some type of. Oh God, you have me throwing the company under the bus. They have female wrestlers that actually has some type of ring talent that could hold the match down. So I really feel that she would do well over there. And I'm just throwing out names on people to be released. Just throwing names out. I'm also going to go with it's not going to be a popular one. I understand.
I know, Madcap Moss. I understand.
No, not at all. Stop calling that man's name. Okay?
Just in case they didn't hear that nigga the first time.
Okay.
Madcap Moss. But who is about to say?
Dexter Loomis. I don't see the need of him.
What?
I just don't understand.
No.
Yes. And for call ups, bring my boy Carmelo. My boy Carmelo has to come on, down. Come on. We need some melanin on SmackDown. Some real melanin on SmackDown. Not halfway melanin like the Usos. We need full melanin on SmackDown. Come on up, my brother. They got a seat for you right over there. You're gonna join the team, and do very well. What's that? The current female champion, the one that got hurt.
Roxanne Perez.
Yeah, Roxanne Perez. Bring her up too. Once she heals up and not kayfabe heal, bring her up as well. And Braun Breaker, you could bring him up as well. But then you're gonna strip the whole NXT talent down. That's who I believe who should come up, and that's who I believe who should get cut back. Right? And also add Adam Pearce to the cut back list as well.
You're breaking my heart. You're breaking my heart. My heart is broken.
That was
my heart is broken. Listen, first of all, Dexter Loomis, he's staying. All right, we need a guy like him that does nothing and just like his silence is everything. We need him. He's like the modern day kind of like who we say like
he's like Kane.
He's like the Kane. He's like the We need him. He stays. But who needs to go? Xia Li has to go. Hit Row needs to go. If they don't have somebody, if they don't have a talker for them soon enough, they have to go. Okay.
The Miz. I'm sorry.
He is the host of WrestleMania Hollywood.
The Miz can never go. The Miz can never go. He is so WWE. He's one of those guys that he's like Randy Orton. He's like Edge. They're never going nowhere. Their heart and soul bleeds WWE. God damn it. And who else? I think those are the only people I feel need
Tiger Ali Singh.
No.
He's been released a long time ago, man.
Mustafa Ali.
You said Muhammad Ali, so don't try to correct anybody now.
Melo definitely needs to be called up. We see the pictures floating around. Cameron Grimes, he's coming. He's on his way up here. Braun, I don't like Braun Breaker. I just don't like it. I really don't. He's
gonna. You know what's strange?
He's not working for me. It's not working for me.
You may not like him, but you know 1,000% he's gonna be the WWE champion. You know that.
Of course, he's probably gonna get called up, and he's probably gonna be the one to defeat Gunther. Probably.
More than likely, it would make sense.
I don't. And who needs to be released, especially from NXT? That goddamn Von Wagner. I do not like him.
They're gonna release him right to the main roster.
I don't like him.
He's been at main event. He's been around fighting. They're gonna release him right to the main roster. Unfortunately,
I do not like that big ass Edge. I don't want him.
All right. So what's the next one? What's the next one you got?
Okay, hold on. My phone keeps closing out on me. I'm sorry about this. Got it written down in my notes.
Oh, you have notes. Okay.
Yeah. That was a little. I'm bleeding out. The slow builds are brewing now. Wouldn't you say? Like by slow builds, I mean because it was a slow start off to like to the I hate when I say Charlotte and Rhea match coming in at WrestleMania. You know, they've been giving up. They were giving like little couple of promo wars what they were doing, but some of the promo wars was falling flat. It wasn't giving us that WrestleMania, you know, like bravado. It wasn't just giving that WrestleMania like, is this a WrestleMania match? Like, what's going on? But this week we seen it happen, gentlemen, when it was the promo and they got right to the, you know, they got right to where it needs to be. I want to see some fighting, all right? I want to see some hair pulling. I want to see some kick to the face. You know, and I love Charlotte. I love when Charlotte gets into that mode. But you ever see when Charlotte gets into like, you ever see when Charlotte gets into brawls, like how she looked, like I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Damn. Okay. Lucky. I think I can do this because Smash Out's not here. But she reminds me.
He's right here. I'm sorry. I was in the middle.
But she reminds me of every white woman who can't fight. Like she be going around shit and she still be missing and falling all over the damn place. Like she just like one of them dingy ass white women that just get punched.
You don't get tired of trying to make America great again? Oh my goodness. When do you get tired?
Oh, really? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just she be having them Jerry Springer fights, like she do the. You know what I mean?
You no longer Sour Diesel. You are Hollywood Hulk Hogan. That's what I'm about to call you.
Okay, brother. But I'm the only one that can really say nigger. Okay,
it's butt check time, brother.
Okay. So now, you know, we're talking about the Charlotte and Rhea build up. That's like it was a slow build, but now it's brewing. Dominic and his dad. We don't know. By his dad, I mean Dominic and Rey Mysterio. We don't know. They try to make us believe that it's not going to be a match at WrestleMania. But come on, ladies and gentlemen, we all know it's going to be a match, right? I mean, come on. Come on. Who's pulling my chain here, right? Come on, right? All right,
Yep. Agreed.
Okay. So those are the only two. Those are the only two ones that I've. Oh yeah, and now we have the triple threat for Gunther's Intercontinental Championship, and it looks like it's about to. That's going to be another good brawl out for your fallout. And hey, I'm the only man out here with the balls out, so you know what I'm talking about. Let's go. What y'all think?
I don't know. I was confusing that last line.
I mean, he's sitting down, so I don't know what's going on here. I'll go. I didn't know if we were gonna cover this during SmackDown, but since we're talking about it here now, you last week or the week before prior, Sour Diesel, you stated that you want to see them fight when it comes to a championship match when it's WrestleMania, and this is what we saw at SmackDown, right? This is a story of a fair versus honor, right? Charlotte Flair is the queen; she has all of the honor. And Rhea Ripley, as she stated, wants to insert fair into the game. So this is something I was already looking forward to. I really believe that this match is going to low-key steal the show. It's like sort of like how Sasha and Bianca's was. We didn't see a lot of intertwining between them, but then when they got in between the ropes, it got real ugly and gritty. So I think we will see that. I'm going to agree with you on the whole Charlotte Jerry Springer fight thing. She wear the heels out. Once the heels go off, she starts grappling on the floor like she in Stamford, Connecticut. I get it.
Yeah, like it's so funny. Like, and sometimes I don't know if if she's real or not, or like I'm like, what the fuck?
It looks like the officials get hit more than the people actually involved in a confrontation. Yeah. If there is anything that AEW wants to steal or take away creatively from WWE, it is how to do these brawlouts, because I hate AEW's brawlouts. They look so weird, but if they want to take a formula, take that formula because it's really good and it gets you into the match. Going into the triple threat match, I have been saying this for weeks and weeks and weeks. It was all a lead up for the Intercontinental title to be a triple threat match between Gunther, Drew Mac and Cheese, and Shamo. So I'm happy to see that. How are we going to break away the Brawling Brutes? What's going to happen after WrestleMania? I'm looking forward to see that so that Pete Dunne can kind of be, his own solo act. Maybe he should turn on Ridge the Fridge. I don't know, but smash out.
I'm gonna, I was gonna say third. Agree with you guys in terms of the brawl out with
Rhea and Charlotte.
Why my mind just dripped off? Yeah. So no, they definitely didn't. It looked very good. I'm excited for the match finally. Okay, because before the talking wasn't hitting.
Yeah.
Dominic and Rey. I don't know why they're dragging this out. I guess they're dragging this out until Monday night, right? Because
I don't want to interrupt. I was going to say I don't think he's going to accept the match until the Hall of Fame.
That's what I think too.
Okay.
I did want to say that, but I totally forgot until you mentioned Ray. I'm a man of a particular age. Thank you. Go ahead.
And I think that I'm trying to see it on Monday Night Raw. It seems like this is going to be a big Raw this Monday. And as for the triple threat match, like you said, I now have finally built interest into this. Okay. And I believe that it was going to become a triple threat the whole time. But I finally have built interest into the match and what have you. And that's it.
Yeah. We have three guys from representing different countries going for the Intercontinental title. That's big. It's different. We have an Austrian. We have Irish and an Irish. So this is going to be good, and they are all three good wrestlers.
This is like
Yeah.
a World Cup. This is basically like a soccer game. And WWE is very good with incorporating sports and actual real sports. It's for an intercontinental title. Right while AEW is trying to introduce their international title, they're showing you how to do the game before the game even starts getting
Right.
played. So
And maybe AEW turned their name to the change that title to the international title due to the Forbidden Door coming, and maybe somebody from the Forbidden Door might beat Orange Cassidy for that title or something. You think?
maybe.
All right.
So we'll see all about that. That's all you got for the smoking section?
No, I got like two more. I'm just gonna run through them real quick. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna run through the I was gonna talk about the Outcasts of
You could do it.
AEW.
We could do it when we get to Dynamite.
Okay. Look. All right. So, all right. So fuck it. That's okay. Yeah. That's the wrapped up.
Yeah.
That's
all
right.
right.
Oh no. Hold on. I want to talk about the new. I'm sorry. The new signee. The new signee. Welcome to AEW. Taya Valkyrie, because she like to suck it up, and welcome
Is this
back.
alleged?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know at all.
And welcome back, Stu Grayson.
All right.
Well deserved. I don't know where the hell he went. I don't know why he left, but hey, welcome back, Stu Grayson from Dark Order. He's the guy that looks like the guy from God of War. Yeah, him.
Okay.
The little fake ass Tommaso Ciampa.
Mm.
Yeah, him. That guy.
What a comparison.
What a maneuver!
All right, ladies
Is that
and
all for
gentlemen.
the smoking section?
Yeah, and just remember, where there's smoke, there is fire. But hey, don't bring the water, because this fire won't go out. Okay.
If y'all want to, those of you viewing and you listening, and you want to comment, go over to the YouTube page on who you think will be released or who you think will be called up. You want to chime in on the conversation? We do welcome you into doing so. Now that we are out of the smoking section, mash out. It's time to light up the fuse because it's time to feel like greatness. Take us into the Turnbuckle Talk.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, so we got a lot to talk about in a short period of time, so we're going to get through it. All right, so first let's jump right into it to Monday Night Raw, okay? Live on Monday night. I'm sorry, I'm trying to put my notes up. So
Monday Night Raw.
From Providence, Rhode Island, okay?
Yes.
All right, there we go.
The
Sorry
home of
about
the
that.
Pewter Schmitz and the Griffins.
All right, yes. So this Monday night definitely tried to sell us more on, on the grandpa match, starting off with, the retirement home match, which is Edge opening up the show, and of course, to make us interested in the Finn Balor match against him. All right. I think this needs to turn into a match that it is, that it is Edge's retirement match. We need it. Okay. It needs to happen. And he needs to, know when to hold him, know when to fold him, know when to walk away, know when to run. Okay. It's time for that. Now, nonetheless, he came out, he said he came to fight, and he came in and he brought out the old man energy. Random thoughts. What's your thought on the opening scrimmage?
All right. So first of all, I thought that Edge does what Edge does at WrestleMania season. He comes out, he gets a blank canvas, and he starts etching, and he starts sketching, and he starts edging. No pun intended. Hold that. And he starts making what is going to possibly be a beautiful portrait come WrestleMania. I think that this match is going to be a sneaker highlighted match. I wonder why is Edge always in Hell in a Cell matches? Do we feel comfortable there, or what's going on? Is he trying to become Mr. Hell in a Cell? I don't know. But calling the Judgment Day the Addams Family was crazy. That was crazy. This is the Mania that I think is going to have a lot of different variations of everything that the E has to offer. It will be like variety pack oatmeal at this WrestleMania.
Oh, my favorite is maple. Sorry.
Oh, mine too, and brown sugar. That is the bomb. With Finn Balor mentioning the Judgment Day demon, will we see a demon version of Finn Balor at Hell in a Cell? You know, Triple H is the Michael Jackson of entrances. So I know we are going to be looking forward to WrestleMania Go Hollywood, and the entrances are going to go crazy. So will we see a demon Finn Balor Judgment Day version taking on Brood Edge? Like, this is crazy. But
I think that would be a great thing. I think it would be, and I think also the fact that they're actually bringing down the amount of matches. This is going to be the first Mania that the matches there's actually going to be less matches between both nights. So it might give you more time for the entrances because, like you said, it is Triple H's WrestleMania this year. Big Daddy Cool, Hollywood Hogan. Go ahead.
Listen, brother, you are wrong. I'm gonna come right out the gate and I'm come out with excitement. All right. Edge is the man. This is probably going to be his second to last match. I think SummerSlam will be his last one, but we're not talking about SummerSlam now, are we? We're talking about the granddaddy of them all, and he is the granddaddy, like how you said. We're talking about WrestleMania, all right? Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to this. Edge is a master of ceremonies on that mic when it comes to promos. He does the damn thing, and he's going to do it well. This is where we're going to see Edge, Brood Edge versus the Demon Finn Balor. Now, I am a good listener, and I listen a lot, and I hear the drops, so they won't get one over on me. We heard you. I heard you loud and clear, Finn. You've been to hell quite a few times, and the devil can handle your demons. Mm-hmm. Okay, so bring them out. Bring your demons, because I'm ready to see them. Okay, I'm ready to see them take over, kick Edge ass, give a good match, and I believe Edge like to go extreme, right? Mm-hmm. He does what he does. He did them in ladder matches. He did it in the hardcore matches where when he is having that battle with Mick Foley. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Listen, people, you had to be there. Incredible time. So him coming back to fight Finn Balor, Demon Balor, and Hell in a Cell is going to be one of a hell of a match. It's going to be one hell of a match. I'm interested in that.
All right, so all of that led into the Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio versus Johnny No Name and Dexter Lumis. So
it's Gargano. Watch him out.
All right, so bell to bell, thought it was an okay match. All right, it actually ended up with the Judgment Day taking the win. All right, the Judgment Day is looking really decent. Okay, and I think that they're actually going to be the biggest faction in the company now after we see the breakup of the bloodline, after Mania. Huh?
You think it's going to be a breakup?
It's going to be a breakup because your boy needs some well-deserved rest. Roman Reigns. So he'll be gone for a while. They might do a reformation of some sort, but I don't see coming out of Mania that the man actually is going to be working. But nonetheless, the match, Big Daddy Cool Sour Diesel.
You can hear it? Oh. I am loving the way how Judgment Day is being booked. They're being booked strongly, and stronglier. Okay? They're going to keep doing the damn thing. They're going to hold it down. Like it is said, it is rumored to believe that Bloodline will be coming to a halt. It will be over, which I don't want it to be. Because if it does, guess what, people? It's really not working for me. So I don't want to see that. Okay? Judgment Day, the match on Saturday, on Monday between Johnny Gargano and Dexter Lumis was a good match. It was a good pace, back and forth. They had you believe maybe Gargano's going to win, maybe Judgment Day was going to win, but we all know how that was going to turn out. Who's being booked strongly here? Judgment Day. Who gets the win? Judgment Day. Who's doing anything? Judgment Day. Who's going to win at all the matches at WrestleMania. Judgment Day, JD. You got it.
Random thoughts.
Well, to expound upon what Sour Diesel was talking about, is the way coming out to help Edge was lit, but to me, it's something missing with the way, and it's not Indy Hartwell. Like, I don't know if it's because Austin Theory is not with them that it seems a little bit off or a little bit different, but I thought it was a good build up for the Mania match and for the following match. It makes sense that Gargano intertwines like a little bit with the Judgment Day, because now it makes us have a, an inclination like, will they try to disturb the match at Stand and Deliver, being that it's all in the same city come WrestleMania? And is this their way of bringing Grayson Waller up by having him feud with someone like Johnny Gargano at NXT? So Judgment Day has been my group. I've been saying that since the beginning of the show, since they come out. That's my group. I like every member now. I could not stand Dominic Mysterio, but when we get down to SmackDown and more of Raw, I'll talk more about that. But that's what I think.
Dominic is gold, man.
My one favorite thing I did like in the whole match is when a certain wrestler did a certain move, and that was Dominic when he did the Three Amigos.
Whoa! Would you look at that? Three Amigos.
All right, so we're jumping on to I'm skipping over the backstage segment. We're going to jump right into the MVP almost and Brock Lesnar segment. So, as usual, MVP is gold on the microphone. I'm trying to sell us on this match. Now, here's the funny part. Okay, everything led up to when Brock went over the top rope, right? And and I just said this is exactly why this man is not ready for stardom, and that's almost. And I sat there and I was like, why? How do you screw this up? How do you screw this up, ladies and gentlemen? Please, somebody explain this to me. Random thoughts. Please take it away to explain what the hell do we see here.
First of all, what we saw was, as you said first, we have to give MVP his flowers. We talk a lot about Paul Heyman, but MVP has an expert ability to really sell Suplex City, not Suplex City, but Suplex City. But I think the problem was Omos's suit was too fucking tight for him to do the move.
What the fuck is going on here?
So I named this in my notes Suplex City because it was Omos powder blue suit that fucked the whole segment. It was too tight. He can't do his moves. If we look at the history of Omos at WrestleMania, he has had big matches with big names. So he needs to step it up. And I'm an Omos guy. I know how to be subjective and objective at the same time. He needs to be able to step it up under the big lights, because segments with you and Brock Lesnar can end up on ESPN. It can end up on news. And if you want eyes to be on you, Omos, I don't think you watch this show. But if you do, MVP, somebody back there, please help this brother out and becoming the Ugandan. That's the Nigerian giant Omos that I believe that you can be.
Well, here's the thing, and here goes my take on it. I wasn't sold on it. They know, and you know how I feel about Omos. I feel like he's not ready. But seeing what happened on Monday night, the meetup, I was into that. Like, this man is a giant compared to Brock Lesnar. He's a giant. So we're thinking, will it be unbelievable for Brock to do the things that he normally does in that ring to other talent, right? Or will Omos be is he ready to go against a talent like Brock Lesnar, right? And then the thing with over the ropes, he fucked up. But did he fuck up? Did he make Brock Lesnar feel and look stupid?
No.
And that gave Brock Lesnar like, shit, what I'm gonna do with this guy? Let me back down. We never seen Brock Lesnar back down from no one. And it's not the first time that we seen Brock Lesnar look stupid doing like him getting something on the receiving end. It's not the first time. All right. So it just so happened that it was by a damn giant. You know what I mean? He had to go and recalibrate himself. The man asked for his hat. Okay. He said, "Give me my hat."
Go get my hat.
That was a very good Vince Russo take on on what we saw here. You knew how to spin that really well.
I mean, you gotta listen. You really got
the truth, though. It's the truth.
It's WrestleMania, and you really gotta look. You see, we looking for the obvious, but you're not even though you see the obvious, but you always gotta have like a second outlook on it too, though. You can't just go straight with that. Oh, they messed up. Did he mess up, or did he just make Brock look stupid?
All right,
that's not the first time that happened to Brock. Come on,
comment and put it in the comments on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. If you think that anything we're saying is factual, then you are more than welcome to comment on that. So I'm going to jump right ahead to LA Knight versus Cody Rhodes. Okay, so now very good match. Okay, I'm extremely proud of LA Knight. He's always talented in all his matches. I can't wait to finally see when they're going to do this with Stone Cold. I'm wondering when is this going to happen. But nonetheless, it led to Cody's promo after, right? And when we went to after, obviously Cody took the win, led to Cody's promo, and pretty entertaining. And that went into the 9 o'clock hour. Okay, so Big Daddy Cool Sour Diesel, why don't you take it away?
Good match between Cody and LA Knight. I feel like that's going to be the future of a future feud, a future something that we're going to see brewing. He's going to be a contender at some point in time against Cody. You know what I mean? And I'm willing and I'm ready to see that because those are two guys that's good on the mic, right? So there's going to be good promos between them, and there's going to be good matches between them. And that was just a showcase of showing that, hey, LA Knight can do things with the big stars because he soon himself will be a big star, right? The promo. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Random thoughts. We got a lot of show to get through, brother.
Okay, I'm sorry. So sorry. My apologies.
Well, damn, I wasn't even ready to talk yet. But first of all, Cody Rhodes' theme song is the new "I'm All American." Everyone wants to sing along. It is a bop. It's a nod.
Oh,
yeah, like everyone does that part, and I just think that his song is the Judas of WWE, basically.
Yeah, even put it in the video game. It's so amazing.
Like, it's dope. We're gonna talk, if we got time, we'll talk a little bit about the video game since you are a video game aficionado. But more on this match. First of all, like Sour Diesel said, Cody Rhodes is not randomly fighting these individuals. It is storytelling here, and this is what we call foreshadowing, right? We had a great match from both men. They both came to do the job, and they done it. Okay. They've both been in the business for a while and haven't really crossed paths like that. So to see them lock it up was type lit for me. And I like seeing LA Knight in these different things. And to answer your question, Mash Out, there's a possibility. I think that we won't see the reveal of him as Stone Cold until WrestleMania. Maybe they'll do something with The Miz being the host and LA Knight interrupting him. And then we have the whole Stone Cold Steve Austin moment into an impromptu match. Maybe that's a type of booking they're going for. But this was definitely good. The Cody Rhodes promo was wonderful. He addressed how, he acknowledged, quote unquote, the tribal chief Roman Reigns and said that Roman Reigns is going to have to acknowledge him. And we're going to see the way this is building up. It's really looking like Homelander is going to be taking the gold. And as you said, Roman Reigns is going to be taking a break. And we'll see what the future holds for the titles. And hopefully these people that Cody is fighting is who will be good contenders for the title in the next year.
And Roman will be there at Raw tomorrow night.
All right. So next, we're gonna get to jumping right through it to Elias versus Bronson Reed. Okay. So,
Bronson Reed is the new monster. He's the Colossus. He's the new one for Raw. That's it. That's all. it's going to be big things from in the future coming.
Absolutely. Random thoughts.
But our pilot episode, I did say that Elias and Rick Booth should kind of be a team because they're both musically inclined. I didn't care about either one of them in this match. I cared for um, Bronson Reed. That is why I watched it. That is who stood out. And week to week, Bronson Reed, if you pay attention, is improving and telling everybody why he is here and why he belongs here at WWE.
All right. So moving on. Now let's jump. We're just jumping right down to the next. We have backstage segment. Let's get to WWE United States Championship, Austin Theory versus Angelo Dawkins. Now, let me tell you something. Random Thought made me a fan of Angelo Dawkins. Okay. Like he kept, carrying this man's flag for about a good few months about this guy. And he definitely showed out and showed his talent on Monday night because there was a few times with the false finishes that I thought that he actually was going to take the title, on Monday night. And I said, that wouldn't make any sense. But however, he definitely had a good showing. And I did like at the end, when Austin Theory took the win. And then, what's his guy? Montez Ford came out. Yeah, Montez Ford came out, to do the save in that because obviously, Theory wants to show that, he is with it, and things of that nature. Okay. Random thoughts.
Well, also, as I've said on this show, I feel like all of this is really a build-up for Austin Theory and Montez Ford. Because, once John Cena makes another movie, Theory is going to need, if he doesn't lose the title, he's still going to need to be in a rivalry for who will go for the United States champion if John Cena is to win the belt, right? So we still need rivalries going on Raw to make us still interested if Cena takes the belt and goes to a movie. Or if Theory somehow retains that Mania, we'll see that come down the line. I like Theory's entrance, what they did camera-wise, but I hate the music for some reason. I don't know if y'all pay attention to when Theory comes out, but I don't like his music. So what they
damn.
Yeah, that's corny. Like, who does that? This is 2011. Please. I think the split is there. They're telling several stories here, right? You have Montez Ford, who will come and save the day to help his partner, who might feel like he don't really need the help. So then you can start splitting away the Street Profits, although I don't want to see it, but we know it's the inevitable. Splitting up the Street Profits and then says first rivalry outside of the Street Profits being Austin Theory. So I thought this was just a good match. AD came to do what he's supposed to do in that spotlight, that he is not the other guy and that he is Angelo Dawkins.
Yes, indeed. Big Daddy Cool Sour Diesel.
Sorry. I think it was Angelo Dawkins, another person that waves that flag for AD. He's showing he's always week after week he's improving himself. So that's just that right there. And I know we probably don't have much time to talk about their backstage segment, but oh my gosh, was it freaking hilarious! Hey, oh yeah. And what are you guys doing for WrestleMania? Oh yeah, that's right. Nothing. Austin Theory is a jackass. He's an asshole, but I love him. I'm sorry. I'm growing to love him.
I told you.
This is a build up. This is going to be a build up for Tez to come and take that damn U.S. title from him. Because if you've seen the Raw after Raw, Montez was being serious because earlier that day in the promo he called them nothing but jokes and clowns and all that, but afterwards Tez was serious. AD was serious. And
all right. All right, let's jump down to Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin. All right, so good match. Okay, good match. Only reason why I said good match because first it came out that Baron was, brawling nails with the closing line. He nails a suicide dive, to send Corbin through the announce table. and he just came out swinging. I love when this man comes out with full energy, man. And I
Rollins?
Yeah, Rollins. All right, let's go. Random thoughts.
I couldn't say it any better. The only thing I noticed was when Seth Rollins went to do the suicide dive. I had made this comment earlier in the week. It was very Kenny Omega-esque when he did.
Yes, it was.
So that was something that I didn't notice that he started doing, or if that was already in his repertoire. But I did notice that, so I don't know if that was a shout out, a call out, or if I'm looking too deeply into it, which I tend to do. So I could be wrong about that. But however, dope match. Both of these guys are becoming WWE veterans, and they are both staples. People may feel they way about Baron Corbin, but he is an excellent in-ring talent, and I love when Seth Rollins.
Who's people? Who's people?
People.
Okay.
This nigga over here.
Yeah, you try to sleep on my guy. You try to sleep on the BC.
On Baron Corbin, which I would have to agree with the comment earlier in the show that he is given a lot of different stuff, and he takes it and elevates it and gets a reaction every time. Whether it's a sea of boos, whether it's cheering, it is not silent when Baron Corbin come out. He makes the best of it. So I thought this was a dope match, good match.
I had like losing Corbin, like the one with the white shirt and the mustard stain.
Bum-ass Corbin.
Bum-ass Corbin. That was the, oh my gosh. I gotta go. I'm gonna go on YouTube and watch those clips. Two of my guys, Baron Corbin and Seth Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins, excuse me. Like how you said, he always come out the gate. On this particular match, he came out the gate swinging. He always, every match, Seth always shows that he has to prove himself from his last match, and he always gets
with himself, right?
Yeah, he always gets better. He's like, for me, he's my Shawn Michaels. Seth Rollins is my Shawn Michaels. I love Seth to death. Baron Corbin, that's my guy. It was a good match.
It was a good match. All right, let's get to Bianca Belair versus Chelsea Green. All right, non-title match. It was kind of blah for me. Nothing really impressive in this match or whatever. I just, again, I'm waiting for them to keep building up the Asuka versus Bianca Belair. I think that's what the story was trying to tell in this match. All right, random thought.
Cody and Bianca, week after week, we see them choosing a different route than their competitors, right? Like they're in matches, keeping the machine oiled, they keeping the spokes in the wheel going. To me, Chelsea Green is more of an offensive wrestler. She's somebody you beat up all the time and not really someone that puts up a lot of defense. So I don't really like to see when she's kind of like being a defensive wrestler. The only thing I didn't like about this segment is I felt like Asuka should have actually fit the green mist inside of Bianca Belair's face so that everyone that Asuka has done that to, it has changed them in a sort of way, right? So even if Bianca, when she does lose at WrestleMania, if that's the case, shout out to her being the longest reigning black champion, women's champion, period, so we know. She should have fit the mist in her face so that it could have told a story of this is why we're starting to see Bianca off her game and seeing maybe a different variation of Bianca come after WrestleMania. That was my only thing.
All right, Diesel.
I'm interested to see what Chelsea Green can bring to the table. She to me, she seems like she's like another one of the talents that you give her something and she's gonna run with it. And once she do that, at the end she'll have a great reward. The Bianca and Asuka thing, I'm getting a little annoyed by it. It's slowly brewing, but having her spit the mist on her, she didn't get the face. She got wherever else she had got. So if you've seen after the Raw talk, Bianca had that type of energy where she was pissed off. So come Monday on Raw, we'll see where it goes from that.
All right. Okay, so let's go. Last but not least for the night, we have Solo Sikoa versus Kevin Owens in a street fight. So I thought this match was pretty decent. I thought that it held its ground, and I thought it was pretty decent. There was a few times where I was like, it's going off the rails a little bit. Of course, Solo got the win because the Usos, came in, beat the shit out of Kevin Owens, things like that. All right, but I thought it was a pretty solid match. Brandon, thoughts?
I thought that this match was in the sentiments of the Wardlow and Hobbs match that took place at Dynamite the week before. The only thing that started to annoy me about the match is like 2 minutes into the match, the Providence, Rhode Island audience was like, "We want tables." Like, nigga, let them get there. Stop wanting tables as soon as the match starts. Like, let them build up to get into tables, and when they go through the table, it's a good reason and it's explosive. Good thing that the Usos are having that endorsement with being really in shape right now, and whatever that endorsement is, that drink or whatever they do to get people in shape. Good thing they have that, because them having to carry Kevin Owens' ass down that Raw ramp as if he was Dave the Pig at a luau. Only thing that was missing was an apple. Okay. So shouts out to them for doing that. I think that it's a good fit in with Solo Sikoa and Kevin Owens. They're both the consummate professionals. They know how to pull a match like this off. And this was a good main event for Raw, especially in Mania season. It lets us get a little peek into the future. So,
I was starting to think, God damn it, Kevin versus Solo again, fucking again. But I realize it's a part of the story, right? Now I don't mind seeing matches that's going over and over again when it's a part of a story. Like, remember back in the days when Vince used to book, it used to be like, come on now, like you this is like the 18th time we see these guys wrestling week to week, and it's nothing happening from this. It was a good match, a good solid way to end the Raw night with that type of match. Usos did their thing, and it's going to keep it going, and we're going to see what's going to happen come WrestleMania.
All right, and that's it for Monday Night Raw. Let's roll right into Wednesday night. All right, Dynamite from the Canada Life Center in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. So, this started off as a very interesting night. And we talked about it earlier, so I'm not going to really rehash this. I'm not going to go over it and then open it up for discussion, but just to start the show off was the Rebar Mitzvah with MJF. It was spoiled by Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, and Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin. And am I missing anybody? Did I say everybody?
Sammy Guevara, yeah.
Darby Allin.
Darby Allin and MJF.
Okay. So the four pillars of AEW spoke. They ended up all cutting promo on top of MJF. MJF went through the cake, at the end, and so far, so on and so forth. So let's move right into. We already discussed it. Let's move right into the first match of the night: Hangman Adam Page and the Dark Order, with Evil Uno and Stu Grayson versus the Blackpool Combat Club with John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and the ROH Pure Champion Wheeler Yuta. Okay, so I'm getting tired of this. I'm getting tired of this feud. Like, it's not even entertaining to me anymore. I just feel like at the end of the day that it's just like, it's like, blah. Like, okay, we seen it. It happened. Let's just move on from it. I get it. We gotta fill time on the show, but I had enough doing this match, and what have you. Okay, so Diesel, why don't you take it away?
I don't know. I think, Sean, can you feel your heart? Is your heart beating? This match sucked! I'm tired of the same bullshit. Tony coked up Khan just keep doing this goddamn booking, and it sucked. Welcome back, Stu Grayson. Glad to have you. But I'm so sorry you got brought into some bullshit.
All right. Random thoughts.
The Shield, the
Shield.
Blackpool Combat Club with the entrance coming from the back. If this isn't Hangman Adam Page going to be joining them at the end, then I don't really care why they having this storyline. All this was, to me, was John Moxley is in another three-man group where the other two guys have champions, and So, moving right along.
All right. Next, the TBS Championship Canadian Open Challenge, Jade Cargill versus Nicole Matthews. Jade, great look, not good in ring. I get real nervous with her because I feel like, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. I think she really means to do well, but like you guys were saying earlier, she needs talent that actually could enhance and help her a little bit more. I could, I don't want to say I could be wrong, but I just feel like I just don't see it. Random thoughts.
I posed a question. I watched the whole match. I saw the whole segment. We saw who came out. She looks like, size wise, she can hold up, in ring style, she can hold up against Jade Cargill. Does Jade Cargill now have competition, right? Is Creed now running into Ivan, whatever his name was in the movie, I forgot, and Creed 2. But the question I posed was, is this lazy booking for Jade, or is this decent booking for Jade Cargill?
She's 54-0.
So is it lazy booking or is it decent booking? Because
lazy booking.
Okay, that's I wanted to see what was you guys' opinion. That was my only question.
It's lazy booking. They keep giving her bullshit ass people to fight. Fucking fighting Red Velvet. Then she's fighting Ice Cream Cake. Then she's gonna fight
the blue Skittle, the green Skittle, the red Skittle.
Like it's like enough is enough. Like I understand AEW really don't have like AEW. Oh damn! Come to think about it, they really don't have a good women's division. Because it's not like it's like I don't want to talk about WWE, but they just have a bullshit ass women's division. I'm gonna just say that.
That's why I said Liv Morgan should go over to
what are you saying?
Liv Morgan should go over to AEW. That's why she should.
No, she shouldn't. What they should do is they should develop the talent that they have. Like if you look at it, WWE have like what? Like let's say like 20. Like let's say like 20. I don't think 20, but we want to say 20 female wrestlers, right? 20 contenders in the female division. AEW has like fucking 50 of them. 50. And then in the top, and they have like the top, probably like top 15, whatever. Then one of them is I'm not going to say it. I'm going to just leave that out.
But I have a question to pose before we move on to the next segment.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think, are they protecting Dr. Britt Baker?
No, I think that Dr. Britt Baker doesn't want to do the business so much in terms of, you mean Britt Baker and Jade Cargill?
Yeah.
They're doing the whole polar opposites, perpendicular, like rise to the top. So when they do collide, it's a big thing. I think what's going to happen here is it's going to become a real popularity thing, and people who believe in Britt Baker they might be jaded or swayed towards Jade Cargill, because I feel like Jade Cargill can go and is a little bit, even though she's improving, I think she's a little bit better than Britt Baker. I told you, after the Doctor Will See You Now, the DMD, the spin, and the fireworks, I'm over it. Britt Baker isn't that good to
me. Yeah, I was fucking with Britt Baker in the beginning, but
I don't even know what they're doing right now with Dr. Britt Baker, to be honest with you.
They're setting it up for her to after the imposers. What is it called? The imposers? The imposters?
What?
What's the team? The NWO women? The Outcasts. The Outcast storyline is over. I think they're setting up for Britt Baker to, of course, turn on Jamie Hayter, because Jamie Hayter has the one thing that Britt Baker really wants. She doesn't care to defend AEW.
You think
women's division. She don't care about that. She cares about the title.
You think Britt Baker's gonna go to the Outcast?
No, I just think she's gonna portray Jamie Hayter for her own self needs. She's not gonna go to the Outcast. She's just gonna portray her for her own selfish needs. And Jamie Hayter get Layla. What's her name? Nightingale. What's baby girl name? I like her.
Willow Nightingale. I think
Willow Nightingale and all those other girls and Riho
they don't even have like a big woman like a big woman wrestler. Not like in height, talking about like a star. They don't have a star female wrestler except for Jade, and they keep holding her back.
And Britt Baker. Britt Baker is supposed to be the face of the women's division at AEW. But nonetheless, we're going to move on to freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy versus great grandpa Jeff Jarrett. Okay, listen. First of all, again, why is Jeff Jarrett keep getting the opportunity? Does Jeff Jarrett have something on Tony Khan? I don't understand. First of all, why is Jay Lethal not in the match? Like, why are we not having Jay Lethal be the one that's going against freshly squeezed?
Because he was going against him last week.
Yeah, I'd rather see that. I don't want to see.
We seen him do it last week.
Huh?
We seen Jay Lethal and him last week. That's why. To me, I don't know why they have this back and forth. I'm in this federation. Then I'm in that federation. Then I'm gonna be in this one again. Then I'm gonna be in that one. I can't stand Jeff Jarrett. Couldn't stand him since the '90s. Since he was JEFF and however else he spells his name.
Remember how Vince spelled it? You know how Jeff Jarrett spells his name? Double G, double O, double N, double E. Gone.
And that's what he needs to be right now. Gone in the damn back and help out the talent. Because I don't want to see your old red ass in the goddamn ring. You don't have it no more. Now your guitars is getting faker and faker by the fucking minute. Like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell is that?
They got them on Amazon, right? Kid toy section.
They got them somewhere.
Yeah. Order me four. Yeah.
Listen up, slap nuts.
Orange Cassidy's entrance was pretty cool. I pay attention to all that kind of shit. I like the little pyro that they added. I never realized that his pyro was like low key, like his attitude. It doesn't go full on. It goes like. I thought that was dope. Only thing in the match I liked is when Orange Cassidy started wrestling like Jeff Jarrett, and Jeff Jarrett tried to wrestle like Orange Cassidy. Other than that, I could have did without this match.
Horrible.
All right. Main event time, fellas. Okay. This was the AEW Trios Championship match. The House of Black with Brody King, Buddy Matthews, and Malachi versus the Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus the Jericho Appreciation Society, which was Chris Jericho, Daniel Garcia, and Sammy Guevara. I like this match. I did. I actually liked the match. There was a lot of times in the match I thought things happened that made no goddamn sense, but there was, I actually overall liked the match. I think that, it was very, very limited botches, okay, in the match, and especially since Sammy's in there. And so I do feel that it was a pretty decent showing. I know that we're gonna get Jericho versus Kenny. I don't know when is it gonna happen. We're gonna get Jericho versus Kenny in there. Jake Hader versus Brody King. I see that's gonna happen eventually as well. But it was a pretty solid match. Now, what I did not like was, okay, I don't like how y'all keep getting it to Kenny and Jericho. Okay, you keep figuring out a way to get them two back into the ring facing each other and what have you. And then the House of Black is just sitting out there, just down. And then at the end, they just come in and powerhouse everybody through and win. That didn't make any sense to me. That's the only thing I have a critique of. Random thoughts.
Just to piggyback off of what you're talking about, what they were doing was divide and conquer, right? Let these two niggas and these two teams destroy each other and beat their ass up, and let's come in and get the win, as they should, because they are a team of black and darkness, and the way they come in, the way they come out, the way they move is all in darkness. So I thought that was actually good on and spot on with actually booking a part of the match. The place was unglued, of course, when the two homeboys was in the ring, Jericho and Omega. I will admit to something, even based on if people listen to the old show, that I hated Oodles and Noodles, right? But since he's been back, Kenny Omega has been very impressive in the ring, and I can put my own foot in my own mouth, like you could kiss my foot back, and say that Kenny Omega has been very impressive in the ring. I think this was a great way of building up the trios division. It was pure mayhem, pure devastation. All I noticed is was Kenny Omega beard was on his shoulder by the end of the match, and that was it.
All right, Diesel.
It was a good match. I liked it. I enjoyed it. The best thing going in AEW is the House of Black, the House of Darkness, the House of my skin color. I love it. Yeah, it was a good match. I love to see anytime you see Malachi in the ring and Buddy Matthews, they always tear it up. They were teasing, like how Random said, they were teasing, and you said they were trying to tease us with the Kenny and Jericho, because somewhere down the line we will see them in that ring one day, probably after the Forbidden Door, or maybe we'll get it like on one of the week shows. I want to see that because I haven't seen their match at the and I don't know if it was in the Tokyo Dome or whatever the hell it was. I ain't get to see that match, so I want to see it here in AEW.
All right, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen, for AEW Dynamite. All right, let's move on to Friday night. All right, SmackDown. This was a pretty intense show of all the three shows for the week. There's a lot of stories was told here tonight. Well, not tonight. I'm sorry, that night. All right. So the show started off, from the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. All right, and it had Cody Rhodes come open up the show. All right. So Cody Rhodes, who decided to be the counselor for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
That nigga was Dr. Shelby all of a sudden.
He was. And then he also noted that Kevin Owens looked out for him when he left the WWE the first time and made sure that he was good and introduced him to the right talent, to get to at least to have him still get a check. All right. And, then here comes Sami Zayn come out. Sami Zayn speaks. Kevin Owens says, I heard it all before, like the song from Sunshine Anderson. And after that, he decided to leave the ring unceremoniously, as the crowd really wanted them to make sure that everything went down the right way. So, nonetheless, random thoughts. Your thoughts on this?
First of all, to piggyback on the whole Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes thing, Kevin Owens has really been a vessel for, let's say, the independent scene, the E, and also AEW, because remember when Jericho told the story about Everrise, is that he got the call from Kevin Owens for them to be able to go over to AEW so that they would have a job. And as he has done for other people, unbeknownst to a lot of people. So this is why KO is a captain, and he is one of the GOATs, because he really cared for the nature of this business. Although he is right now playing for one team and under one company and has been loyal through some shitty booking over the years, he has, in the past few months, been in one of the biggest storylines ever. So to just see Homelander play Homelander Cody Rhodes to play Dr. Shelby in this, it makes sense because you need a strong enough team, right, to go against the Bloodline. You need these elements to come together to make a superpower. So I thought that was really good, and he's a part of the battle now. That was dope, and that was it. I mean, segment was dope. Cody Rhodes is good on the mic. He makes you feel something. Like Cody Rhodes makes you, no matter what he says, he makes you feel something, and he invokes a feeling in it. I think that was good.
Listen, he could give you the ingredients to cake, and you'll feel it. Okay, Diesel.
And Cody Rhodes, please. I like Cody. But I know what you're doing, Cody. I see what you're doing. You're trying to get people to be friends again so you can have some backup at WrestleMania. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. You're just trying to get your little things all tied up together. You're gonna, get some protection. You're trying to get some APA protection here. Trying to get covered. I understand what you're doing. Good for you, Cody. Keep up the good work. Need more like you.
All right. So next was the first match of the night, which was the Judgment Day, Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio against Legado de Fatisma, which is Selena Vega and Santos Escobar.
Selena Vega or Zelina Vega?
I mean,
It's
Zelina.
Zelina.
Zelina. But listen, you got to applaud me because I got my Spanish accent now every time I say Legado del Fatisma.
Even though it's Phantasma, but okay. Whatever.
It's Fatisma. That's how it's spelled. That's how it's correctly pronounced. All right, but nonetheless, of course, Rhea Ripley. Now you got me messing up everybody's name now. So Rhea Ripley won with the Riptide. Here's the only thing I really noticed about this match. Have you noticed the way Rhea Ripley pins people?
Mm-hmm. We've been paying attention.
And it's mainly how she always pinned Zelina.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And first and foremost, her and Zelina is good friends.
Yeah, really good friends.
Yeah.
They're really good friends. So I guess that's why she gets to pin her the way she wants to.
Yeah, because I'm sitting there like, I don't know about this one, guys. All right. Random thoughts.
Dominic, in this match, I felt like Santos did a good job in making Dominic look like he could be somewhat a competitor for Rey Mysterio come WrestleMania. I thought we saw a great display from Zelina Vega. Let's not forget she's an amazing in-ring competitor. Her love for like wrestling and cosplay and mixing them all together. Remember, if Rhea Ripley wins the SmackDown Women's Champion, her and the Judgment Day are more than likely coming over to SmackDown, or at least she is. So this could be, once again, that foreshadowing of a competitor that Rhea Ripley might come across. So it makes sense that she was having a little rivalry on Zelina. That's what I really like.
Diesel.
What I like about the you have you noticed lately that Rhea involves herself in everything?
With the
Like
men.
she's beating up on men.
Mm-hmm.
She and no one does nothing to her. She's like we said this last week, I believe. She is the new China.
Mm-hmm.
She is.
I would say that.
People,
I would
they
say
would
that.
skip. Guys will be afraid to hit on her,
Mm-hmm.
to fight back. Just like how I used to be with China, right? And then till one day it really exploded, and Stone Cold gave her that goddamn stunner. But that's not what we're here to talk about, right? What we're here to talk about is Rhea Bloody Ripley. She's being booked good, really strong, and she's doing her damn thing. It was a good match. I liked it, especially when she got the pin over Zelina Vega.
All right. So then after that, we saw that Rey Mysterio, confronted Dominic Mysterio after the match. Very good back and forth on the mic. We thought that Rey was going to accept the match, for WrestleMania, but you guys already said you think it's going to happen at the Hall of Fame. Next on the card was Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez against Emma and Tegan Knox. Okay, I could have done without this match. I just Random thought, where you at?
I'm right here.
I could have done without this match. It was just
So
Yeah, we don't even need to talk about it because to talk about just the importance of it, it's just a way for them to have I think a four-way match at WrestleMania for the I guess the winners get a tag title shot if I'm correct.
they'll either automatically qualify for the Queen and the King of the Ring, and or they'll go for a title. Anywho, this is the replacement of the Mae Young Battle Royal and the Andre the Giant.
right.
Yeah, so it just for another way for them to find a way on the WrestleMania card. But
All right.
with wait, hold on, real quick. Is it still going to be that three-way damage control versus? Because I was confused about it. Is Becky and Lita defending their titles at WrestleMania, or are they having the three-way?
No, they're having a three-way. It's Trish, Lita, and
Becky versus
against Damage.
It's supposed to be a rematch, though. It's supposed that I think the two are just added to it.
The belts are on the line in the triple.
Yeah, the belts are on the
This
line.
is not Tony Khan's book, and I doubt that.
No, that's not.
I'm
Well,
so
we
sorry.
should
I
look
don't
this
think.
up. We should
Yeah,
look
let's
this up.
let's research that because
Let's
I think
research
it's
that.
just the three-way, and that's why they have that. You know, speaking of Trish, even though that's not where we were, they're having on Superstar Sunday the rivalry between Trish and Lita, and on Biography they're doing Jerry Lawler and Paige, which is a little bit weird because Saraya is over there, but they're gonna have their biography on Sunday night on A&E, a part of Superstar Sunday.
All right. Okay. So next on
Sorry.
the card, is Charlotte, with with Rhea Ripley. Now, I thought Rhea Ripley was on point with her mic work in right here. She was on point with it. But
It needs to be a stop.
random thought. You said something before, and I said I have thoughts on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Rhea Ripley said something very interesting that I just want to talk about. We already discussed the segment. We already discussed the pull apart, whatever. So we don't have to go through that. But she said, "I'm not done with Bianca Belair yet,
Mm-hmm.
and I have something for her." Right now, do you think that possibly means that one? It could be. I think it could be one of two things, or maybe one of three things. All right. One, she's gonna lose she's gonna lose at Mania. I'm not saying these are what they are. Okay. One, she's gonna lose at Mania. Two is they might unify the titles. Or three is there is a match somewhere down the line where it's gonna be champion versus champion. What did you guys think about that line when she said that?
What we have been seeing in wrestling, the build up from the Royal Rumble when Bianca and Rhea was the last two, and Bianca won, is we've already been seeing the build up even under Vince booking between the inevitable between the EST Bianca Belair and Rhea Blood and Ripley, right? I think it's actually a combination of everything you just said. I think that actually Rhea is going to go over and win the SmackDown title, and then we'll see a unification of the women's title because then she will take on maybe a Bianca Belair, maybe Asuka's not going to go over, which is why we're seeing a stronger build-up with Bianca Belair on Raw than actually seeing a strong build-up with Asuka and Bianca Belair interaction. They just gave Bianca Belair something to do at Mania, basically, on the card, but gave a good opponent. So I think it's a combination of all three. Sour D.
Well, it's to go back. Remember, I can't remember what pay-per-view or premium live event it was supposed to be, where Bianca was supposed to go against was supposed to defend her title against Rhea Bloody Ripley, but that's when Rhea Bloody Ripley had got the concussion. So,
Right.
and that's when Bianca been shining ever since. So that's a take on that. She wants to go back because we have some unfinished business, right? And then two, the unification of the title because they've been unifying every title that's within the company, even down from NXT. So I can see that happening. She's going to win that title. She's going to beat Charlotte at WrestleMania. She's going to come out the next night on Raw. Hopefully Bianca retains. She's gonna come back the next. She's gonna come back the next night on Raw. Step in her damn face, and she's gonna let her know what the business is and what that damn leg read.
All right. So next on the card was Xavier Woods versus L.A. Knight. All right.
Yeah,
So this match again was pretty entertaining. Both had a great showing. Obviously, Xavier Woods picked up the win in the match. So do you guys feel like there's a story that's going to be told here with LA Knight because he keeps losing?
Absolutely. I feel like, first of all, with Xavier Woods and LA Knight, these are two people I want to see supersede what people's expectations of both of them are. First of all, did you hear that pop that LA Knight received when he came out? I don't know if
Yeah.
y'all was listening. When he came through the
I
curtain,
listen.
yeah, he got a pop, and that wasn't no piped in noise, John Cena. That was a real Kansas City. I think they thought the Super Bowl was happening again, and the Chiefs was winning or something because he got a good pop. But I think it was a great match. I'm all for Black Boy Joy, but I wanted LA Knight to go over. If in fact he's gonna have a program with Stone Cold at Mania, his spot with Rey Mysterio in the back was really good because you see them kind of planting the seed like he's not going to have anything to do, which gives him more reason to come out and either, interrupt the Stone Cold or make his own segment with Stone Cold interrupt him.
LA Knight is one of the talents that's on there. He's right along with Baron Corbin. He doesn't need to win. I would love to see him win, but he don't need to win because regardless, we still love him. The fans still love him. The people in the guys in the back, they still love him because he do the business. He do what he's supposed to do, and even with him losing, he still gets over. You understand what I'm saying? So
Right.
come WrestleMania, and I think it was like anybody who really lose before like a WrestleMania, and they always try their way to get on that WrestleMania card, always make their way on the WrestleMania card because they have to prove themselves. Whether they lose, we always see them lose. Whether they lose or not, they're going to be there, and he's gonna be there. He's gonna have his WrestleMania moment. You wanted a WrestleMania moment? Well, you got one, you jackass. That's what it's going to be.
All right. So then we're gonna move on to Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. We already know how we already spoken about that earlier in the smoking section. And we're gonna go on to the main event, which was Jey Uso versus Sami Zayn and the conversation that was had
Beautiful
in that match. And now the story was finally
match.
told that it's now basically Kevin Owens is back on board. Okay. And now we're going to have a great WrestleMania. Even though they haven't officially announced the match yet, that's what it was led to believe from him saving Sami Zayn. And then, of course, them hugging it out. Random thoughts.
First of all, first highlight was Jey Uso calling Sami Zayn a fake ass Uso. If you ask me, that was lit. That was real. He didn't.
I thought he was gonna say fake ass nigga.
He better not. That nigga better not say that shit. But I thought that was really good. Sami Zayn also made an excellent good point with saying, "You're really jealous of me. You're only mad because I hit Roman with the chair and you wanted to be the guy to do it," which to me planted a whole nother seed once again. Kevin Owens taking on the Usos at Mania with Sami Zayn. I've been calling that for months now.
Mm-hmm.
I've been saying that for months. So I knew that this is how it was going to culminate. And I'm excited that they brought emotion and tied in even Roman's beef with Cody into it, with him being Dr. Shelby. Like I said earlier, this was a really good story told. And the Bloodline story, even if it ends at WrestleMania, has helped elevate so many stars. It did not just put Roman Reigns over. It has put main event Jey Uso over. It has put Jimmy Uso over. It has put Solo Sikoa over. It has made a new spark in Kevin Owens. It made us fucking chant Sami Zayn. He was a joke doing a conspiracy theory years ago in a documentary that never freaking happened. So it has elevated so many people involved in this storyline, and it's even continuing to elevate Cody Rhodes. So this was great. This was awesome on a Friday night.
Diesel.
I almost cried because that was beautifully said, Random. But I want to give this award to Jey fucking Uso.
Mm-hmm.
For over 3 years to this point right here, right? He has been giving us great character work. Great. His facial expressions, his body expressions, how he moves in the ring. Like when Sammy told him that you just wanted to be the one to hit Roman, and you were mad that it was me. Oh my gosh, that told everything. And it lit more fire under him to starting to attack on Sammy, right? maybe. Well, there's no maybe. Maybe, yeah. We will see that. We will see this happen come WrestleMania. We will, or maybe the night after Wrestle. We're going to see Jey Uso finally crack. Jey Uso been wanting to crack for a very long time. For even from even the night when that word first got out there, he isn't feeling Usi, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a damn what the tribal chief thinks. It started like it's just been building up. Jay is mad. He has anger, not with Sammy, but with his own cousin, with his own blood, and Roman Reigns. Roman.
That's been the storyline, though, right? That's not been the storyline. That this has all been misdirected anger for Roman. His whole because main event Jey Uso was inseminated and inserted from his rivalry with Roman Reigns. So he's had this actually since he lost to him, but he had no choice.
And it's crazy how, like how you said, how so many stars has been built up around over one man, and that's Roman Reigns, and he done excellent work within these last 3 years. He did what he was supposed to. He came to work. He showed up, and you know what I mean. I just want to see smooth sellings from him after.
All right, and that is it for the turntable talk.
Wow, that was
a
very
turntable talk.
I'm sorry,
turnbuckle
talk.
Okay,
All right, random thoughts.
Let's go straight into the 3 count. We wanted to expound upon our conversation, www. Which is Worldwide Women. It's Women HERstory Month, so us here at the Three Amigos Show podcast wanted to take time out to spotlight the beautiful and talented women in wrestling, then, now, forever together. Now, last week, Mash Out gave us his synapses of Miss Mary Mack, aka the Fabulous Moolah. Now, let's dive in and talk a little bit about. You also mentioned last week Elizabeth and Sensational Sherry and all those ladies of the golden era who more played an intricate role in being valets and getting involved in the matches. What, while still in that space of talking about Sherry and then before we move on, because as Sour Diesel said the previous week, is that he doesn't really recall women's wrestling besides we told him in WCW really happening until we started seeing, Sable, Sunny, and Luna. So what are some of both of you guys is go ahead.
I didn't say that. I did recall I said we didn't see like women wrestling really pick back up until because I remember Alundra Blaze with her woman championship. I just can't remember the women that
you said after she left WCW that you don't really recall it. So that's
after she left WWF.
Yeah, so you don't really remember really wrestling happening after that. So that's what I was just
women wrestling. But I do remember it used to be this I'm not quite sure the name, but I do remember this one women wrestling company back in the day. I used to watch it. Glow? That was Glow. And they used to have
gorgeous ladies of wrestling.
They used to have. Did they have this one wrestling lady on there? Like she was big. I think her name was Big Bad Mama or something like that.
Yeah.
I remember because wasn't she? I think she was on. She was on a show in one of the 90s. I think it was
Regis and Kelly.
Yeah.
No, not Regis and Kelly. It was a sitcom. I think she was on Married with Children.
You mean Regis and Kathy Lee at that time?
Oh yeah, of course, Regis and Kathy Lee at that time.
I do remember that, but guys, your question.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk a little bit about Liz and Sensational Sherry. What are some of your most memorable moments from them? Either matches. I don't remember Elizabeth ever having a match, but matches and or moments from any of those ladies prior to Sable, Sunny. We can start out with Mash Out and then take it to Sour Diesel.
Sherry. What can I say about Sherry, man? I mean, I thought Sherry was amazing. Amazing. I mean, from Harlem Heat to Shawn Michaels. Sherry managed a ton of different people. And like I said, she could take bumps Okay, I remember at WrestleMania 9 when she took that clothesline off the side by accident and then hit the side of the ring and then fell to the ground. You know, when she came out with Shawn. I mean, what can you say about a woman that puts in work, who was, you know, a great wrestler in her own right? You know, rest in peace to her. She took matches against Missy Hyatt, you know, and she was an amazing wrestler, amazing manager, transcended the job of a manager, especially made it that it was no longer just a pretty face coming to bring someone to the ring. Like, she actually got in, you know, took bumps, took heat, and things of that nature. Elizabeth also was a part of the storylines, right? Because, you know, I mean, with the fact that Macho Man was accusing Elizabeth of being with Hulk Hogan, and, you know, which, story becomes life, because that part of that whole, part of that whole thing, that was a part of the breakup between the two, right? Because it was Macho Man started to believe the storylines, and that was a part of their breakup between the two. However, just her facial expressions, just, her little thing she would say on the microphone, it made her, a valid, valet / wife. Rest in peace to her as well. I mean, if we're going to talk about this, we have to talk about Lex Luger.
Loser.
Right.
Go ahead, Lex Luger.
Now, he was not convicted. He was acquitted of the murder charge on Miss Elizabeth. Miss Elizabeth's, that story to this day about her death, it still irks me. It still irks me 20 some odd years later. The fact that he said someone broke into the house, right, and tried to kill her by crushing her trachea and putting meds down her throat and what have you, because he told two different stories. One story was that she OD'd. The second one was somebody tried to break in. Look, unfortunately, life has got retribution on Lex Luger, that he's paralyzed, that he can't, he's wheelchair bound and stuff like that. I just don't understand how the state of Georgia did not convict this man for what he did to this
state
woman.
of Georgia, that's why.
You're right. You're absolutely right, because they clearly took wrestling over murder, because that was a clear-cut murder. Miss Elizabeth was murdered. I don't give a damn what nobody says. That woman was murdered. There's no way that her fucking trachea was crushed and then pills was. What robber do you know does that? They're like that. They managed to find the pills and says, "Let me put the pills down the bitch's throat," to solidify she's dead.
Like shit,
that doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make any sense. And I really felt that, her and Macho Man's breakup, it did a lot of damage to Macho Man as well, right? Because he genuinely loved this woman, and unfortunately, it just didn't pan out right, and the whole situation was piss poor and sad, and but she had a very sad ending to her life, Miss Elizabeth. And she's an integral part of all our lives if you were a Macho Man fan.
Right. Sour Diesel.
My greatest moment would have to be. I used to love when Sensational Sherry managed both Macho Man and the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Those was my best times of knowing her, remembering her. And also too, when she was with Harlem Heat. But when she was with them, when she was with like Shawn and when she was with Macho Man, that's when I had and I was a kid at the time. This is when you start to really believe everything that's happening, right? So I'm like, gosh, I hate this woman. Who is this lady with her ugly makeup? I can't stand her. Like, why she's doing this? Like, why would she do that? Why would she do that to Macho Man? You're supposed to be his manager. Why would you do that? And then when Miss Elizabeth came out the crowd to stop what was going on.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
WrestleMania 7. Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Like it brought me to my knees as a kid. And now I have no business being on my knees as a kid. But I was there, damn it. I was there. I bought into the story. I really love wrestling at this time. And also one of my favorite moments is when I think if it was in the same night, is when he put her on his shoulder.
Yeah,
That I don't
that
care
was
what
the same
nobody
night.
says.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what no one says. That right there is one of the best pictures of all time and all wrestling time. That is the best picture. I love that picture. I have that picture in my phone. I love it because when I get married one day and I'm or whatever, I want to hold my girl high just as much as he did with Miss Elizabeth. Put her right on the shoulder, right
Random
there.
thought.
Well, you're 6'4", so as long as they're on your shoulder, they're gonna be up pretty fucking high. I think that is one of my moments as well, but it went even longer into the SummerSlam of that year to when he proposed and they got married, and come to find out down the line, that's when they were actually having, marital issues, and WWE was able to incorporate this into the storyline. I really like Miss Elizabeth and the NWO a little bit because she's always been so regal and so ethereal in her looks and how she managed. And then Miss
Mhm.
Elizabeth was like a dirty slut whore bag, and I kind of liked it. It worked for
Whoa.
her. It was a spin on her character, and it was decent to me. With Sensational Sherry, of course, my favorite time is with her with HBK because she was the enhancement talent. She was not
Yes.
only a valet, she was a manager, but she was the enhancement talent.
And let's
Everybody
not
she
forget,
is with or was with, go ahead.
she was the one that was singing the Shawn Michaels.
Heartbreak Song
Yeah.
originally, yes. It was
Okay.
definitely, her, and she had iconic moments when it came to WWE. Those were
Mhm.
my memorable moments for Sensational Sherry. Everything
And
with Shawn Michaels. Go ahead.
also, don't forget the when I thought one of the funniest moments with her is when she came out with Kurt Angle to redo the song.
Yeah, sexy Kurt.
Yeah, sexy Kurt. I make your ankle hurt.
While we on the throwback conversation, does anybody remember Michelle McGurk?
Mm-mm. Who's that?
Once I tell you who she is, you're gonna know who she is. I'll ask the same question again, and I'll ask it in this way. Do anybody remember the lady ring announcer that used to wear the tuxedo jacket?
Yes. Yes.
That is
Yes.
Michelle McGurk. She was married to Brian Blair, the Killer Bees. Her birthday's actually this month. I think she's in March or something like that. Remember, Bobby Heenan would always get on her. Like he
Yep.
always cracked jokes on her. She always was the butt of his joke. She ended up getting into a storyline with Sid Justice and Razor Ramon. She was attacked by Sensational Sherry one time. That was one of my favorite memorable moments because Sensational Sherry was like a manager and she ended up attacked. You never really saw the ring announcer. You saw the guys in the back who interview, but you never really saw the ring announcer at that time getting attacked. And for Sherry Martel to attack her, I thought that was very crazy. And that was during the Macho Man Shawn Michaels match, and you were seeing, Sensational Sherry kind of switch over to Shawn Michaels. Now that's all really the women I remember of that era. Let's move on to the new generation where we saw this emergence of, Sunny. We saw Sable. We see Luna. Alundra Blaze is here. We see Bull Nakano. We see Bertha Faye. What were some of the memorable moments that you guys remember from the new generation? And who was an overrated wrestler and underrated wrestler of this era, the new generation?
Overrated Sable, underrated uh, Luna. 1000%.
Sour D.
1000%.
Same words, same pick. Sable was overrated for her looks.
She was.
Just for her looks, and they just wanted to see a pretty woman at that time be a wrestler.
That was it.
Yeah, and you spoke last week about remembering it being a little bit more prevalent after the match he had with Luna at WrestleMania. It was a mixed tag match, Mark Merrow, Sable. And I always felt like Sable took Mark Merrow's everything. Like he had that music. He
The
had
Sable mom.
He had the power bomb. He had the TKO, and she started doing basically all his moves and took his music. And he got injured. He got a knee injury, or I don't know, something happened to him, and then he was off of TV. And then it was all about Sable. Then we start seeing the emergence of individuals like China, right? Marlena. Sable is still there because Sable came in as a valet to Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Marlena is Terry Reynolds.
Yeah, Marlena, aka Terry Reynolds. We see Jacqueline. Now we see Deborah is now here, who's Stone Cold's wife, Steve Mondo McMichael's ex-wife, China, Nicole Bass. We even saw, like Trish Stratus because she was with TNA. We saw Lita because she was with S.A. Rios, Stephanie McMahon, Tori. We start seeing the emergence of all these women in different roles, right? Who to y'all was the one that was a star, not just based on wrestling, but they had the overall package?
China. Out of all the girls you named, China.
I would say Trish Stratus.
Of course, she would say Trish Stratus, but okay.
China.
I'm gonna have to go with Sour Diesel too, a Stacks with Av. I'm gonna have to go with China. She was the full package. Then we start seeing the ruthless aggression era, right? We see women like Natalia, Kelly, Melina, Victoria, Tamina, Jazz, Shaniqua. Y'all remember Shaniqua?
No, I don't remember Shaniqua.
She was the black sister that managed the Basham brothers. I think she came in through Tough Enough or something like that. There was Jillian Hall, Tori Wilson, Dawn Maria, Beth Phoenix, Mickey James, Michelle McCool, Stacy Keibler, Eve Torres, Candice Michelle, Miss Jackie, Alicia Fox, Christy, Cherry. Y'all remember Cherry?
Yeah, I remember Cherry. Yeah.
Nydia, Maurice. Later on down the line, we start seeing, the
Nydia from Tough Enough.
Right. And I think she was with Jamie Noble, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was like Trailer Park Trash. Who do y'all think was once again underrated out of all of those girls, and who was overrated?
Damn, you just named.
You went to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Underrated, I would have to say. Oh gosh, of that whole crew. It's a very good question because there's a lot of overrated, but underrated.
Like Stratus for that.
I would have to say underrated. I would have to say maybe Alicia Fox. I would have to say for that time she was definitely underrated.
Well,
Are you shocked? Are you shocked?
Drunk. She was
not her whole career.
Where the fuck is he going? He's doing that so perfect. Her whole career. No, he did that shit so perfect.
Alicia Fox.
I would say Alicia Fox was underrated. I would honestly say that. Yeah,
she was a hot mess. Come on.
Because I'm trying to think of everybody. Okay,
I can write some names down slower for you guys.
Hold on, I gotta
Natalia,
go back.
Kelly, Melina, Victoria, Tamina, Jazz, Shaniqua, Jillian Hall, Tori Wilson, Dawn Maria, Beth Phoenix, Mickey James, Michelle McCool, Stacy Keibler, Eve Torres, Candice Michelle, Miss Jackie, Alicia Fox, Christy, Sherry.
You don't want me to go with my answer. That's what you want me to think. All right, I'll go with somebody else. I will go with somebody.
No,
else.
that's you said you couldn't.
No,
think
I will
of
go.
the name.
Wait, who was the girl that was with Michelle McCool and they had to split the titles?
Layla.
That's my underrated pick.
All right, so I will go with another underrated.
No, that's your rep your set.
Because you gave me the look and then you fell back and all types of shenanigans.
That's your opinion. You are entitled to your opinion. If you thought that Alicia Fox was underrated, she was probably one of the only sisters when she came on. By the time she was there and really having matches, she kind of came in as the mistress, Natalia, Kelly, Melina, Victoria. I'm gonna go with my underrated. I really think was Victoria. She did have the belt, but I think that she was a very good in-ring competitor. I liked a lot of her rivalry. She was a great transition for when China kind of was falling off, and Victoria was there putting in that work. I always kind of thought Molly Holly was.
That's who I was looking for. That's who I was looking for to say also, Molly Holly. That's
I
what I thought was very.
I thought Molly. She is a really. I mean, she's a Hall of Famer now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought she was
She's
very
a Hall of
underrated.
Famer. She was very. She put in work. She cut her fucking hair. You know what I'm
And
saying?
she was in a lot of stupid storylines.
Yes, and
it
she
work.
stayed and she sold it and she made it work. So
And what about old girl? What about old girl that broke China's neck again? What was her name?
Ivory?
Ivory.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
She was in the right
Ivory
to
would have been
censor.
that last crew we were just talking about before.
Yeah, like she was more in the attitude because she was in attitude with the right to censor. She was,
Yeah.
you know, in the bra and panties matches. She kind of hated. She was with D-Lo and them.
Because she never
Right-
had
right
the
since-
body
right
for
since it
the
wasn't-
Braun and Patty's match.
Right this since it wasn't Attitude Era.
That was Attitude Era.
That was. That's what they were cleaning out, the whole filth of the Attitude Era.
If they clean out the whole filth of Attitude Era, then wouldn't that be ruthless aggression? Okay, yeah, you're right.
That's why I had the Godfather be the
Okay.
All right. So now we have. Oh, I've discovered something. Your Achilles heel. You don't like to be wrong in public, but it's okay because when you're wrong, you learn. It's okay.
I know
mad.
that's right, Dr. Phil.
It's okay, right? I got more for you when the brand store comes up.
Come see me.
Then we had those women's. Is that for the NXT title at Stand and Deliver? You got it. Is that a challenge? You got it. Now, we also saw during the Diva era, right, where the women from the Ruthless Aggression kind of trickled down, and this is when they started infusing the Diva surge, and we fully meet the, Bella Twins. You see the Gail Kims, you see all these different type of women coming in, and then we have Natty Neidhart, who smashed out one of Smash Out's favorite in-ring women competitors there is. You have Tamina coming in with the Usos, although she was there fighting before and training. You see her come more to the forefront, coming in with the Usos, and Natalya coming in with the New Heart Foundation. And Natalya is the only one who wrestles right now from that crew. What were some of your favorite moments from, like,
If you talking about
era?
Natalya or Tamina, the answer is none. Okay, none for me.
It could be Gail Kim, the Bella Twins. It could be Alicia Fox. She was there
The
still.
Bella Twins, no, I don't. I never had any. I never liked the Bella Twins. Never. I just thought that they figured out. I don't know. They were like, to me, I don't know what certain purpose of them being there. Huh?
Is this the AJ Lee era too?
AJ Lee, Paige, now coming in.
I would say AJ Lee, over all of them. She had a great move. I like when she was the general manager. It was kind of funny. But the Bella Twins and Natty and Tamina. I can't. Out of all of them, I can't remember anything that stuck out in my mind as these people are good at what they do. I just can't remember nothing like that. Maybe when they had the Women's Revolution pay-per-view, which was trash within itself, but the fact that you had, that was the only time I ever seen Natalya do anything that was worthwhile in my eyes. And the Bella Twins, I thought they were entertaining when they were valets. I don't know why they were Divas champions. They were never, I guess, I don't know. And now they're not even with the company anymore, right? They disappeared. They decided to leave, huh?
Yeah, they're the Garcia twins now.
You forget about Naomi.
We're about to get to Naomi. First of all, it's your turn. So if you want to bring up Naomi, you can definitely.
AJ Lee. My favorite fondest memory of her when she was like when she had the little crazy shit going on. You know what I mean? You couldn't trust her. Like she was kissing on Cena this week. Did she try to get with Daniel Bryan? Then it was like she was doing so much. I had loved that character. Then when she flipped the script and she became when she became Dolph's manager.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that's when Dolph became our world champion at that time. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, tremendous time. You had to been there. You had to have been there.
Yeah,
it was
I
a good
disagree.
time. What?
I
You disagree?
No, that was
okay.
really a good time. That cash
No, it
in, New Jersey was crazy. That's when Big E
What?
was with him, right? AJ Lee, Big E, and Big
That was
E
a
is
mistake.
he's a now former world champion. We're hearing some rumblings of him coming back. Go ahead.
I wish they had that. I wish in real life we had that thing for Men in Black. You just press so you could just erase the memory from it, so we could just delete it.
You can't because that was the first. That was like the first. That was like the first Raw after that was like the fire.
That was thunderous. Yeah, it was thunderous.
I understand that, but I understand
of the WrestleMania after, and it all started. And it all started when Dolph cashed in and became champion. So we ain't going to do that here. But
you could tell the story any way you want it and make it sound eloquent any way you want to make it. But the fact is that no one remembers that Dolph Ziggler was a world champion.
No,
coming up.
No one remembers Dolph Ziggler as a world champion.
When we do Money in the Bank, that's going to be one of probably the top 5 of the cash-ins. Probably like the top 2 because I can't remember. Well, no, because CM Punk cash-in was good.
Seth Rollins.
That's neither here nor there.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get there. Now we start to see the evolution, right? We see women, asking for more time. They starting to have the Divas Revolution. But before I get into that, once again, viewers and listeners, if you want to chime in on some of the Divas or the women wrestlers that I missed out on in those eras, please feel free to comment right under and just continue the conversation. Now we start to move into the women's revolution where women's wrestling is starting to really get interesting. They are having matches. First of all, about the women's revolution, do you feel like the women's revolution actually started in NXT?
Yes.
Yeah. It started in NXT because that's when we saw some tremendous new talent, and putting on good matches. We're talking about matches that was at them takeovers with Belly versus Sasha Banks. Come on now.
I remember when I used to fast forward the women's matches for the regular main card, but for NXT you kind of tuned in, right? Because remember that's when Natty kind of went back down to NXT and she had that rivalry with Charlotte, and that's when they first did Bret Hart with Natty and Charlotte with Flair, and they put on what was that match of the fucking night? What else was on that card? I don't even remember at that point. It probably was a good main event.
I don't think it was a takeover at that time. I think that was like NXT rivalry.
Yeah, something like we're here. So the NXT Women's Revolution started. How do y'all feel about people who you don't necessarily, who were overrated, like the Bella Twins, if that's your opinion? The Bella Twins.
The Bella Twins came from NXT?
No, but I'm saying when it came to the Women's Revolution, they take a lot of credit for ushering in the Women's Revolution. Because
Nikki Bella at that time, Nikki Bella was the John Cena. Yeah. I'm sorry to say that she was.
They are trash. They are trash.
They are trash, but
they're trash.
When Nikki started getting better they improved. Started improving in that ring though. And wasn't nobody was really fucking with Nikki at that time.
They're like, there's nothing memorable about.
And she was the Divas champion, not the Women's champion. So that's different.
Yeah,
right.
There's nothing. There's nothing memorable about the Bellas. I could do without them. I
I dare to live without them. But at that time, when it was getting a resurgence,
the question was more or less, who's more responsible, the NXT girls or the girls that was already
NXT girls?
Okay. NXT.
Like who?
All of them.
Who is the Mount
Rushmore? The 4 horsewomen.
No, everybody equally put in
4 horsewomen. Emma. Who else came from around that time?
Sasha. Charlotte, Bailey. I think, to be honest with you, Brandon Dawes, I think all of them, every single one of them came in and ushered in the new regime in women's wrestling. Because I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you. What happened is that everything was brewing inside of NXT, and that's why people started to gravitate more to the NXT product than the main product at that time. Mm-hmm. So when everything was brewing at that time, that's when these girls is not playing. They coming up, like to quote Sour Diesel, they came out the gate swinging, right? And then when they came to the main roster, they took it by storm.
And just by viewing what they was doing on NXT, when they came to their main roster, you had to give them that, because look what they're doing down here. Nobody's doing what they're doing down there up here. What the hell's going on?
I don't know. What was that?
That's probably from you hitting the desk and hitting the board, the wire. All right, so y'all put up a good enough argument. Me personally, I do agree wholeheartedly with you guys. I was way more intrigued. I was way more interested in what was going on. I mean, NXT didn't have all hits, but they had an 85% hit when it came to the women's wrestling. They had little misses like the Summer Rae, the Eva Marie, the who else? Rosa Mendez. What was her name? Rosa something. It was a Rosa. And she
Rosa Acosta.
That was a video girl, isn't it? Yeah. They had their misses, but for the most part, as Mashout said, it's from Sour Diesel that they were swinging and missing. Hitting the ball right out of the park. Moving right along with the conversation while we're on women, I once said that since that era, we haven't seen an explosion of stars. Since then, we've seen 1 or 2, 3s, and 4s here and there, but we haven't seen an explosion like that where they could create a Mount Rushmore, where they can create real women's wrestling history. How do y'all feel about that? Do you think since then that it's been we sailing from here, guys? Smash out first, then I'll go to.
I think that. Wait, repeat your question again. I didn't hear you.
The question is, has there been, since that era of NXT, the golden era of NXT, has there been an insurgence of women wrestling stars since then?
No, not yet. Not yet. Yeah, not yet.
We had you don't feel like the little next era, like let's say, you had the Oscars, you have the Shayna Baszler, the Alexa Bliss, Rhea Bloody fucking Ripley.
I still equate them all in the Revolution. I think those ladies are still equate in there. I don't see anybody now that kind of is like ushering the new,
not even like Raquel Gonzalez or.
No, not yet. I don't see anybody that's really grabbing me. That's from the new class.
All right,
the new class is what Becky used to be. Remember, we had like out the gate with them. We had Charlotte doing her thing, Sasha doing her thing. I think you even probably had Belly doing her thing. Becky was like the last one to really prove herself. Like if she didn't get that bloody nose that night, we don't know where Becky would be, right? So I feel like everybody now that came out, except for like your Bianca Belair, that's the new Sasha. The bloody Rhea Ripley, she's the new Charlotte. And everybody else, they like the Becky and Baileys. Right, we're not really looking at them yet, but until they really find themselves and got something to do, then that's when they'll be on their way up. Like Raquel Gonzalez, she needs to cut that shit out with the smiling and whatnot, and she needs to be her inner self. She needs to be who she was in NXT. she's not really as much dominant as how she's supposed to be.
So who's a Bailey out of the new school? Who's a Bailey?
I don't know just yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, like Liv Morgan.
Maybe.
Maybe a Liv Morgan is a Bailey. I don't necessarily care for her right now, but let her turn the other cheek and start putting, some different type of work in, and she becomes a Bailey. All right. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, tuning in, we just wanted to spotlight this Women's HERstory Month. We wanted to talk a little bit about women's wrestling throughout the years. There has been lots and lots of memorable women moments overall. This is my last and final question, and we're going to close out the conversation. But the conversation can always continue on social media, on YouTube, on Instagram. So, most memorable moments when it came to women's wrestling overall, whether it was first Hell in the Cell match, whether it was a ladder match, whether it was the main event in Raw, maybe it was an NXT Wednesday. What is y'all's? I'll start out with you, Sour Diesel, because I started out with Smackdown last time. Sour Diesel, what are your most memorable matches when it comes to the beautiful queens of professional wrestling?
My most memorable matches when it comes to the women wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
My top one is when Charlotte and Sasha had the Anywhere Goes match, and Sasha became the women's champion. It was the Raw Women's Champion at the time when she had it in between in the crowd in the bars doing the bank statement.
Mm-hmm.
That's my top match.
Okay.
That's one of my best women's matches.
Match out.
I would have to say the first time that Trish Stratus and Lita headline Monday Night Raw. I think that was monumental for the business at that time. So I think that was my top match.
I mean, I think it definitely was too, but I'm gonna go with, of course, the Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. We had just got back to an audience and the two sisters going at it. They told a good story. Bianca was crowned the champion. I'm always team EST no matter what. So that was one of my most memorable moments. I also wanted to shine the light real quick on Ref Day, which is, Aja Smith, which is the black referee. He went from NXT, who's now on the main roster. Let's not forget JoJo, who was a ring announcer, Lillian Garcia. The ring announcer right now on SmackDown, is that her name?
I'm not sure what her name is.
Ricochet's Samantha something.
Yeah.
Samantha Irvin or Irvin, something like that. Samantha. She be doing her motherfucking thing, okay? She be announcing, especially when Roman Reigns and the Bloodline come out. So I definitely want to give her a shout out. That's all I have for women in wrestling. We can go straight into a mash out. Who do you think is your wrestler of the week?
My wrestler of the week is Kevin Owens, for making the right decision and coming back. So that's my wrestler of the week.
All right. And Sour D's, how about you?
My wrestler of the week. Jey Uso, baby. Jey Uso.
Oh, that's a good one. That's definitely a good one. I'm gonna go with who y'all said should be called up. And I'm gonna go with Carmelo Hayes. He was one of my picks during the pilot episodes, but his matches with Tyler Bates the past few weeks, with Hank Walker and him getting the victory over Akira Tozawa on main event earlier in the month. He's my wrestler for overall the week. I can't wait till he gets called up, and I can't wait until he start mixing it up with the likes of everybody on the main roster, the ones that won't be released.
All right.
Fellas, final thought.
Random. You always give us the last ones. Okay, it's your turn. Your first turn.
You just tossing it off to everybody. You ready to lead the show? You ready to wrap it up?
The sound is killing me. That's why I'm trying to do this.
All right. Well, my random thought is people will notice the change in your attitude towards them, but they won't notice their behavior that made you change. You know what? They say entertain a clown, you become a part of the circus. Please don't entertain no clowns. This show is like my favorite bottle of cognac. It's best shared with my friends. Y'all are all my friends on here. All of y'all who tune in are my friends and my amigos. That was the brand I'm sure. Sour Diesel, your last words?
Goodbye.
The mashup?
This is where persistence always overcomes resistance.
Oh, goddamn. That old goddamn saying. Can we put that on your tune? Goddamn.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you follow us on social media, on Instagram, TikTok, which we're really working on and bringing stuff to y'all. So y'all want to stay tuned to that. And the YouTube page, it is the Three Amigos Podcast 1, right?
Yes.
And that's where you follow us. Find us. Tune in the next week. We got more coming for you. We dwindling down the road to WrestleMania, y'all. And tune in to another episode of the Three Amigos Show.
Yes, indeedy.